I'm living with my cheating ex's mom.
That's a complicated living situation.
Hi, I'm 22. My ex, 22 female, cheated on me. Her mom punted her out. Her mom, 43 female, said I could live in the house forever if I wanted. Am I the a-hole if I stay?
Calling it right now.
Yeah.
The mom wants you bad.
She wants you bad. By the way, this comes from CryRepulsive9449. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I met my ex. Let's call her Lisa, so it's less intense for me. Writing ex is still a lot, you know. We met in high school. We started dating when we were 13. It was great. Her mom liked me, and I loved Lisa. She was funny, smart, and was gorgeous. She was a gorgeous 13-year-old. We spent a lot of time at her place because she was 13. Doy. I was so happy back then. I don't have parents, so I lived with my grandma, but she was more than enough. She was strong, funny in a crude way, lively, and a straight-up legend. I was 17 when she passed, and I moved in with Lisa and her mom. I was devastated, but they were very inviting. My relationship with Lisa grew. It was amazing. They helped me through it. Lisa was my rock. It was the three of us until now.
Yeah, because she found another rock to sit on.
Rhymes with rock.
Whoa, oh yikes. Every day was similar after our high school graduation. Her mom would drop Lisa off at university, and then her mom, let's call her Jen, writing her mom over and over, and this rant will be weird, Jen and I would go to work. We work on the same street, and then we'd leave at 5 p.m. and go home. Lisa would be home by then. Then we'd eat dinner together.
Cute.
It was like that for the past 2 years.
Ooh, a little too cute.
I know for some that sounds boring, but I enjoy stability. I was happy, and we were saving up money for our own place, a good place. Jen never asked for rent, but she always took it because she knows how important it is to me that I contribute. Lisa and Jen were my family. I was going to marry Lisa, and Jen was my best friend. I know it's weird that my best friend is my ex-girlfriend's mom.
Well, now that we understand the
I mean,
living
like,
situation.
she's basically your mom.
Yeah. Or is she going to be your mommy?
I found out she was cheating on me last month.
Oh.
She accidentally sent me a text that was clearly meant for him. Ooh. I was devastated and started crying. It was unbearable. Jen heard me. I showed her my phone and she just held me. Lisa came home and instead of apologizing or making an excuse, she said with venom, "I have a new man and a better man. Pack up."
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. It repeats in my head most days. Jen snapped. There was screaming and swearing. Jen ended up telling Lisa she had 30 minutes to pack up. I just hid in the office and locked the door. I couldn't handle it. I was paralyzed in that one spot. Lisa left about 2 hours later.
What? So
Wow.
I'm just confused how OP
Yeah.
didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
She said it with venom?
Yeah.
Wouldn't there be like something? Now he's probably going to see
like
it now.
some different, I don't know. I feel like this is not at all like going to be excusing her of her behavior because that's terrible. But I feel like she's been with this guy for 13 years.
Yeah.
He started living with her because of, some loss of his grandmother.
So they've been together for 13
Yeah.
years, started living with each other.
Yeah. Well, they haven't been together 13.
I know, but like they started living to each other. So like,
Yeah.
they're really what you're saying is they're getting really close to one another.
I'm talking about OP and his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
So like they've been together
Yeah.
for 13 years, started living to one another. There's
Yeah.
just not a lot of separation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like how, you go to resent someone who you're constantly living with and, you have no space from.
Yeah.
And she did the worst, she dealt with that in the worst way possible by cheating on her partner.
Yep. He likes to cuddle. He's like Sophia. He likes to cuddle, but she likes to cuddle with somebody else.
Yikes.
She's starting to do that. Like, how did OP, he thought this was here, but how do you not see signs of it doing this?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. Complacent? I don't know.
Mm.
Cowboys God says she accidentally sent him a text that said, "You're so much better than my boyfriend." Probably.
Right.
But Jen held me and said, "This is your home for as long as you want. If you want to move, I'll miss you, but you'll still be family. If you want, you can stay forever."
I know exactly how he held her too.
Yeah.
How she held her.
Uh-huh. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Being told that really helped me feel safe and took away some of my nerves. Sometimes when I wasn't around, Lisa and her dad came by to pick her stuff up. Lisa and Jen have had a couple of major fights, but Jen made it so I happened to never be around for most of them. Lisa and her friends are giving me a hard time, sending hurtful text messages, and I just don't know how to deal with that.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck?
This is weird.
Lisa has been switching between calling me a loser for living with Jen and asking me for a second chance. Really
What?
really super different approaches, and I don't think you can do both of them at the same time.
You can't say you're a loser, give me a second chance at the
You're
same
a loser.
sentence.
Give me a second chance.
What?
I am never getting back together with her. I don't love her anymore. I have succeeded in avoiding any one-on-ones with Lisa, but I'm eventually going to have to talk to her. Lisa has been living with her dad. He has tried to mediate, but that was not accepted by me. Jen's stance is whether I live here or not. Her daughter is not invited to live at home. Her actions are disgusting, and she needs severe and permanent consequences. She told me that she still loves Lisa, but not the person she has become. I want to continue to live here for the time being. I sleep in the old office, which is now my room, and our old room is now the study. It's the only home I've ever had, and Jen is my best friend. A lot of people in my life think I'm responsible for Lisa being punted out. That's what got me questioning myself. Did I take her home away? Am I the a-hole if I continue to live with my ex's mom? And there is an update.
Real quick clarifying.
Yeah.
He started living with Jen and Lisa when his mom passed away?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Well,
That's
grandmother
right.
passed away.
Grandmother passed away. That was the one who was taking care of him.
Yes.
I don't think you living with Jen is a bad thing. I don't see this as abnormal, but it is a bad thing if it's to the point where you're like 27, you have a full-time job, and you're living with Jen. At that point, it's time to move out. But it's sort of like a kid moving out from their home.
Yeah.
That kind of
I
thing.
think that you should... I don't think you should live there forever.
Yes.
I think that you have a very special like normally if this was just your ex's mom, I'd be like, no, like this is completely inappropriate. But this is basically your mom. She's raised you since you were 13, basically, or maybe a little bit after, like whenever your grandmother
She's
passed.
been around since you were
But yeah, she's been around since you were 13, has raised you for a considerable time. This is a different relationship. However, I think you should probably start. OP's 22, by the way. But I think you should probably start trying to see if you can find a new place to live. But I don't think that you have to rush out of there.
No.
Because she clearly doesn't think you have to rush out of there.
Get your feet on.
But I think, one, you got to start working on finding a place. And two, you got to work on finding new friends.
Yeah, because there's definitely a lot of codependency here.
There's so much codependency. I don't think your ex's mom should be your best friend.
Could be your mom.
Yeah, but I think you can
definitely
have
need
a
more
motherly
friends.
relationship with her, but I think that you should absolutely work on finding new friends.
Because a lot of people marry their best friends.
Yikes. But there's an update, folks.
I never really understood that. I married my best friend.
Yeah, my friend Isabella, she's like, if you ever say that, I'm going to be so upset with you. Because she's my best friend. She's like, you can't, like in your vows, you can't say, I'm marrying my best friend.
Don't you dare.
Like, I don't want to be your best friend. I want to be your boyfriend. I want to be your lover,
Yeah.
you know? Like, best friend. Yay, besties.
I don't mind being like best friend. Well, I have a lot of best friends.
I am my girlfriend's friend first, but I mean, I don't know. I'd rather be like.
Update. A lot happened. A few days after my post, Lisa came by. We talked, just the two of us, for the first time since she was punted out. She started off by apologizing, but immediately tried to shift blame on me and then her mom. Then she asked if she could have a second chance. I said no. And then she asked if I was sleeping with her mom. Honestly fair question.
We're all asking that.
Yeah. I said no, that she is the only person I have ever been intimate with and that Jen was basically my mom. Then she said, so you're still in love with me? With a smugness that drove me insane. I remember exactly what I told her. I don't love you. The second I found out you cheated on me, it disappeared. And that I would rather drink 3 liters of elephant piss every day for the rest of my life before I would get back together with you.
Some would you rathers really do bother me if they became real.
Yikes. She slapped me and then went to the backyard and had it out with Jen. Yikes. She cheated on you and she's upset. She's upset that you don't love her still after she cheated on you.
Also,
Girl.
whenever an elephant takes a piss, how many liters is it?
Yeah.
Because
A
you have
lot.
to.
She's going to be drinking a lot of pee.
Yeah, is it like 1 liter and you have to go to see the elephant 3 times a day, or is it all in one go and you just have that liter you take down for the rest of the day?
He's got one of those camel backpacks.
Can you batch up and get a weekly batch? I'm sorry, I'm so off to the point.
She said some of the most vile things I've ever heard in my life. Why is she so awful? If her mom is so great, why is she so awful? I won't write it down, and I definitely won't speak it to her mom. It was disturbing. Then Jen, in a very calm voice, said that she was no longer her daughter and told her she was trespassing and to get out. Lisa looked shocked and then stormed off. The second Lisa left, Jen had a meltdown. It lasted hours. I was pissed off at Lisa. She confided in me that she hates her daughter now and doesn't want a relationship with her anymore. I don't
Dang.
love that.
Also, we have some information on
I
the
don't love
elephant
that.
pissing.
Oh, yikes.
Keon.
I don't love that.
The internet's full of crazy stuff. And this one's pretty mundane. So on average, per day, it's 50 liters. Per time is about 10 liters. That's 3 gallons.
Okay, so that's 10 liters is 3 days worth. So if you just catch them at one time when they go, and you got 3 days worth.
Yikes.
You only have to see. I'm just worried about how many times a week you have to see the elephant.
She started
well, not-
going
no,
to
that's-
therapy.
Sorry, that's actually not so many. That's less. It's like you'd have to see the elephant like twice a week, basically.
Okay. It's not sure.
Yep. I'm just.
She
got
started
that
going to therapy and told me around 2 weeks ago that she's disowning Lisa and it's what's best for her mental health. That her therapist said she can still love her daughter and not want anything to do with her. Wow. That's like, wow.
What made her into this person? Why does
Yeah,
she have
that's
this
what I'm
much
asking.
resentment?
Well, she has her dad, so maybe it's like her dad is not great, but that's an intense reaction. I feel like as a parent, I would want, yeah, Anne 13 says she must have said some horrible things. She must have. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, what would she have to say for her mom to disown her? I don't know,
Yeah.
like, I would want to have more conversations with my daughter before I just, like, jump straight to disowning.
Well, she did mention early on that her and Lisa would fight a lot without
Yeah.
OP being around.
Yeah.
So there's probably been some resentment on that end. She probably has a more maternal thing for OP than she does the daughter. And she's
Yeah.
like, I can just be a mother to OP instead of my daughter. I don't know. There's a lot of
that's
things.
crazy. It's crazy. I've been supporting her the best I can. I like being helpful. Lisa made less and less attempts to contact me. She's living with her dad. 5 days ago, I got a text from Lisa's best friend. Let's call her Kate. She was one of a few of Lisa's friends who didn't pester me and actually picked me in the breakup. We've talked a few times since the breakup to console me. She asked if she could come by with some of Lisa's friends so they can apologize. I was apprehensive, but this woman is a straight shooter and I was curious. So they came by and Kate said thank you for letting them come over. Then the other 3 women each took turns apologizing to me.
Oh, nice.
Then they apologized to Jen for everything. Then they dropped a bomb. They didn't know she was cheating. Apparently, Lisa had been telling people that she only cheated because I was sleeping with her mom, and that's why she was punted out.
Oh my gosh. She's a
Yikes.
liar. I was wondering, why are all these friends horrible
Wow.
and believing like this kind
Yeah,
of person doing these
yeah.
kind of things? But this makes so
Yeah,
much more
you even
sense.
believed it.
I still kind of believe it a little bit,
I
but
still do. I asked why they thought I would ever do something like that and why they were apologizing now. They said it was easier to think I was a cheater than their best friend was a lying C-word. Their word, not mine. They told me they had cut her out. I must have looked like I didn't believe them, so they all showed me their text messages to Lisa and their social media. It seemed really important to them that I believe them, and yeah, they definitely did. They were not gentle about it, to say the least.
oh wow.
By the way, I'm not going to be gentle when I tell you to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Hey, stop yelling,
Sorry.
woman. That was right.
I'll be gentle. But there's a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
It is a tiny bit crazy that they went out of their way to show how aggressively they cut out this woman.
Yeah.
I don't blame them though.
Yeah.
Because if a friend of mine, let's say a friend of mine, you cheated on someone, and I went to them and was like, I can't believe you cheated on Sophia and did all these things whenever you were lying.
Yeah.
I would definitely go to them and be like, yo,
Sorry.
that's on me. I definitely did
bad.
it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I would
fair.
not want to be friends with that person after that.
Honestly, there should be more friends like this where they go out and they
Yeah.
clear their names like
Yeah.
that.
To be fair, like, I also, like, understand their friends. Because if one of my friends said, yeah, they cheated on me, I'd be like, well, you're my friend, so I want to believe you. And, I mean, clearly OP didn't see this coming, so it makes sense that they wouldn't.
Yeah, of course. She had everybody fooled.
But there's a little bit left.
A manipulator.
I accepted their apology, mostly. They all left but Kate. Kate and Jen went to the backyard. I don't know what they talked about, but they were both smiling when they came back. I thanked Kate for setting them straight and being on my side throughout the breakup. She said she was just following her moral compass. I'm doing much better now, and I don't plan on moving out until the time is right for Jen and me. Jen has become my best friend, and we support each other. This relationship's still a little bit weird to me. I have a routine I follow that really helps. Also, I started sleeping better.
Wonder
And
why.
that's the end of that story.
Wonder why you started sleeping better.
No, Riley, no.
Kalel, no.
But OP, I think, you didn't do anything wrong. You have a really close relationship with your ex's mom, so it makes sense that you're to stay living with her.
Really close.
But I think the goal should be to find some more friends your age. Who
Yeah.
aren't,
Here we go.
basically your mom.
Or other adults that aren't your ex's mom.
Or that. Yeah.
I have friends that are 40 and up that I hang out with
Mm-hmm.
on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm. Are they your ex's mom?
No,
Yeah.
they're
So-
basketball players.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We got James, Art, Dwayne, Q.
It's not really the age, honestly. It's just the relationship that they have, It's like that's basically your mom, and also that's her ex's mom. I feel like we could branch out a little bit. But there is another story, folks. My cheating ex won't leave me alone, even after I exposed him to everyone.
Exposed what?
My ex-fiance is part of a sports club. I sent a text to his teammate urging him to tell the women in the sports team who slept with my ex-fiance to get checked immediately. Yikes. By the way, this comes from Take a Step at a Time, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you do in the comments. And OP says, they all have group chats, all know each other, and all sleep with each other, according to my ex. I grew tired of being the gatekeeper of my ex's image. I suffered because he did not tell me he had been sleeping around during my pregnancy and after I gave birth. Oh my goodness. No. I'm just imagining that, it seems like he might have had an STD, which is
Exactly
so
what it sounds like.
awful. And also, if you knowingly give someone an STD, that is a crime. So arrest him. I only found out because I suffered for months and the doctors exhausted all possibilities and tried various medicines. Thank God for science. The regular health checks allowed me to have a specific window of when the cheating occurred due to the positive test. He couldn't gaslight the results. This is why testing is important even with your spouse. Part of me wanted those women to get checked because they don't deserve to feel that pain or lose their ability to have kids. The partners don't deserve it. If my fiance, father to my child, couldn't tell me, he certainly would not have told them. But I would be lying if I didn't say that I feel good knowing they will be the ones scrambling around to get a health check, stressing, waiting months for results, and retesting. They have to deal with a public humiliation amongst their peers, and I don't have to hold this to myself anymore. I know a lot of you won't agree or understand this. And comment 1 says, think of it this way, you may have stopped a minor epidemic. Yeah, no, I understand and agree that you should tell everyone, literally everyone you think that he may have come in contact with, spicily. They gotta know. Comment 2 says, why would you be downvoted? I don't see how what you did was wrong. OP says, I thought I'd be called vengeful or petty. Another reply says, absolutely not. Your ex is a plague rat. You, on the other hand, looked out for the health of others. Exposing his foul behavior is only a delightful side benefit. Reply, not disclosing your spicy partners that you have received or you have previously contracted a spicy disease is illegal in some places. Yep, you just saved those people from potential infertility or, even worse, a blood disease. Comment 3, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks this way. I applaud you and totally understand the way you feel. I actually called the health department and told them I wanted to give them the affair partner's name. The lady basically scolded me and said, I'm not going to call her. What? What an idiot. So let me get this straight. If someone coughs on me and I get the vid, they do contact tracing, try to identify who has it, interview people, intercept people, etc. But if you get an STD, the doctors and nurses are required to report it to the health department along with your partner's name and number so they can contact them and tell them they need treatment. But if you try to tell them about additional people they should contact, they scold you? anyone else see a problem here? That is pretty ridiculous.
That's insane.
You should, I mean, they should be contacting literally everyone
Yeah.
they think at all possible. OP says the policy actually makes sense. The person that was in direct contact with the person should be the one to do it. If you had no direct contact with the person, then there is no guarantee that it isn't just rumor or hearsay. Lives can be ruined by making a call that ends up being a mistake. People make mistakes all the time in accusing the wrong people. This is a bargain with too much to lose. Well, no, I actually disagree with this, because what you can send, and I think what they do send is, like, for the vid, they say, hey, you may have been in contact with someone who had the vid. So I feel like they could, obviously sometimes it's going to be a little bit more obvious.
Yeah,
because
I can
if you don't have a lot of
understand
partners.
her saying, like, it could potentially put someone in harm's way, but at the end of the day, like, not knowing could put you in more harm for a lot of these. So I feel like you should know.
Yeah,
but
like I'd rather put down a rumor rather than have to, worry about someone getting an STD.
And I don't even think so much it's like in that case you would have to put down like a public rumor of any, like,
it's going to, like,
it'll
your
just be a call to
spicy
you
partners.
kind of
Exactly.
thing. That's just like you can totally keep that contained, but not knowing for something that is that big could be bad.
Yeah. And there is an update. So we are both in our 20s, asked for another chance. And of course I said no. Good. Yeah. I have restricted our communications. He can only reach me through emails. However, he has decided he doesn't want to communicate at all if he can't call me. I had to speak to him last week for our child, who has an ongoing problem that required healthcare. When we returned from an appointment, he said we needed to talk. So I entertained him. He started to say it's been difficult for him, us not speaking for 2 to 3 weeks because of what he did, and he can't sleep. Edit, he has taken a vow of celibacy until he gets married. Yikes. That guy stinks. He stressed that in the past, when we were together, he was trying to fix his mistakes rather than changing himself to become a better man, and that he didn't have confidence. I don't know what that has to do with me. Now he's working out, eating and dressing well, investing and studying, etc. He wants us to be a family. He wants to treat me as a woman. He wants to be a father to our child and would like to marry at the beginning of 2022. Wow, sounds like such a great deal.
He's like, I'm being celibate till marriage. Do you want to get married next year?
Do you want to get married I don't
As
know,
soon
like
as
next
possible.
week? What are you doing Tuesday? Want to get married? Am I STD free? No.
Have I told any of the girls I cheated with?
No. I later messaged him to politely decline this wonderful opportunity. I told him that I would like to focus on what I'm doing now, that he's probably lonely or guilty and he should get over it. Approaching me as he did was just embarrassing, given that he cheated on me while I carried his child and after I gave birth, and he kept his loose ways a secret for a year until I had that positive result. I also asked him what he planned to bring into my life. Will he secure my future? Will he make my life easier? Will he love me? I blocked him because I don't care for an answer. Did I tell him all the things I wanted in a husband? No. Did I tell him he needed to deal with his misogynistic ideologies? No. Because that's not my problem. Why should I give this man a blueprint to become a better man so he can use me one last time? Or be the perfect man for another woman? This is why you should cut contact with cheating exes, because they just need something from you, whether it's your attention, expertise, intimacy, money, or advice. Anyway, he called me from an unknown number requesting the measurements for our child's room in my house. I asked, what for? He said, to decorate. I had previously told him that I would decorate alone. I later asked why he wasn't respecting my decision to decorate alone, just to see his response. Then he accused me of not letting him be a part of our child's life, or that I am making decisions for our child, telling him what our 1-year-old child likes. He is allowed in our child's life, just not as much in mine. He is allowed to be a father in his own home, on his own time. I am not here to stroke this man's ego and make him feel like a better father when he couldn't do the right thing when we were together or apart. And I gave him chance after chance. I simply explained to him that these are the consequences of his actions. He wanted to cheat, so obviously he didn't want to be a part of this family. He went further by being a and is now being treated accordingly. I did not buy him a Christmas gift. I did not speak to him on Christmas. I didn't wish him a happy new year, and now he's feeling lonely and struggling. I don't pretend to get along for the sake of my child, but only keep things amicable. If he finds that uncomfortable, so be it. From these small exchanges, I know that I will definitely not be talking to him at all. And there is a second update, but before we get into that, Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, I mean, she sounds like she's done talking with him, and I feel like that's the way to be at this point. I don't think
Yeah.
like
Agreed.
she went back for a couple questions that is kind of just like, you don't really need to go back and text him again, but like just be done
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, you have to talk to him
For
in
the-
terms of
yeah.
co-parenting, but like keep it to that. He's got to keep trying to convince you, that he loves you and all that, but you know that he doesn't because he proved that to you.
I'm wondering if maybe they said it and I missed it, have some sort of custody agreement.
I don't think yet.
Okay. I don't think they were ever even
Yeah, I don't think they're
married per
married.
se, but like he is still his child.
Yeah. So I don't
So
know.
if he does want the custody, like that could become a thing where maybe you guys
Yeah.
can work something out. So, and then it could make things even smoother. You could have to have less conversations with him because it's like you definitely have him these weekends. I
Yeah.
definitely have him this time.
That's probably like the best way to go about it. But there is an update. My cheating ex-fiance filed for bankruptcy. Nice. I prayed that God would avenge the wrong that was done to me because that's the only thing that stopped me from replaying or pondering on getting revenge and distracted me from the wave of heartache and grief that overcame me. Everything that I experienced didn't feel just or fair, and I grew tired of being the bigger person. It was hard to let go, but I started to love and live my life with a focus on being happy and protecting it. He just won't leave me alone, though. For a while now, he's been applying pressure by flirting, being spicy, asking to spend time, and sometimes he's pleasant. It's hard holding boundaries for someone you once loved, especially while co-parenting. It's hard being selfish when all I knew was being selfless. He has decided that I am the one, that he will wait for me. He said he wanted to marry me, and when I asked for the plan, he said he was hoping I had one. LOL. He's like, I just want to marry you. And she's like, okay, how?
I also
When?
just like that he's like, I've decided I'm gonna marry you, and
Yeah.
she's like, I no, and he's
I
like,
don't
I've
agree.
decided it actually.
Yeah, and he's like, I actually don't even need you to say yes. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've
He's
already
like,
said yes.
we're getting married. Just let me put the ring on. You don't need to say
Just
anything.
go with it.
Hold out your hand.
It's all gonna work out. And she's like, are you planning it? And he's like,
No, I thought you
you're gonna do
would.
that. Yeah. All the singing and dancing about him changing is fake. I am feeling so much pressure from him and others to make it work or help him out, but he's dangling a carrot of marriage and a happy little family in front of my face. It just feels like I've been here before and I know the result will be the same. I tried to advise him on the mistakes he was making, but he called me a hater. Hope he's like, hey, like it was really bad when you cheated on me. And he's like, oh, you're just a hater. This is ridiculous.
Pretty much.
Now he dug himself a hole. I have refused to help him in any capacity. I have told him many times over that he should call the women he cheated with, his friends he always chose over me, and his family to help out. By the way, you can help us out by listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't really have much extra. I mean,
Yeah.
like she's handling it.
Mm-hmm.
She's not falling for his
Honestly,
lies.
yeah.
and-
Like the only thing I would say is if he knew. Find out if he knew when
If
he
he
gave it to
knew.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And get him arrested for that because that's illegal. They are not helping him out. I feel like he only wants me because he's at his worst and no woman is willing to entertain him. It's a huge insult to me that he thinks there's still a chance. The conversation of moving in with me has come up so many times and I have always shut it down. So I don't get it. Why won't he leave me alone? He's blocked. He's not allowed into my home. These rules keep me safe and make me feel like I'm in control, but I just want to move on in peace. It's tiring protecting yourself often. I don't feel happy that he's in the situation he's in. Somehow I feel kind of bad, and that's confusing me. Any words of wisdom would be greatly appreciated. And that is the end of that story. I discovered my husband's affair, and I'm pretending I don't know a thing.
Why are we pretending?
I, female 40, found out about 6 months ago. I went into total shock. I thought he, male 39, loved me because he tells me that every day. We have a beautiful family together, 3 beautiful children, 4, 5, and 16 months. Beautiful home, vacation home. We are close to both of our families and everything else is perfect. By the way, this comes from Long Dress 1947, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
And I'm Keon.
And OP says she, female 35, is a coworker of my husband that I know very well. She has been in my home. I have comforted her when her husband cheated on her and left her for his new woman. I saw her pain. Little did I know that she would inflict that same pain on me a few months later. I saw her spicy photos on his phone. Talk about their hookups on Messenger. She isn't even beautiful. She is disgusting, pathetic, and miserable. I know I'm being a disgusting misandrist here, but I can't help myself. What does she have that I don't? He disgusts me very much. He is pathetic and stupid. My respect for him is gone. I have chosen to pretend that I don't know. I love my life, and I'll be danged if I share my children and not be able to see them every day of their lives. Not him nor her deserve me separating from my babies, my home, my family, my comfortable life, and my safety. Sometimes I think that he knows that I know. When he looks at me and asks me to come back to him. Like when he asks where I am when I'm in my thoughts. It feels like your body is here, but your mind is 1,000 miles away. I don't answer him. He starts to argue. Sometimes it feels like he is doing it to provoke a reaction out of me, but I never answer or engage until he gets tired and leaves me alone. I never initiate anything with him, and when he has me, I just let him, and I refuse to let him pleasure me. In the beginning, he complained that I'm distant and cold and that I want him to use protection. I told him that I stopped using birth control, so he has to wear protection. His complaining stopped when I told him that it's either this or nothing. 6 months later, I am mostly at peace with my life. Still a lot of ups and downs, but the downs are getting fewer and further apart. Today was a down, so I needed to vent. The part of my heart and thoughts that were occupied with my husband were suddenly empty, and I have found out that I'm pretty good at filling the void with other things, new hobbies, and even more quality time with my babies and loved ones. All is well. But what are your thoughts? Acrobatic Mechanic 265 says, it seems that you've already emotionally checked out and really just staying for the kids and the life that you have. I hope you find peace for the life you chose. And Significant Owl says, is he the breadwinner? Girl, you have many options, especially with proof of the affair. You'd be surprised how many men don't fight for their children. I think you staying and distancing yourself got yourself through a lot of hurt that would have come if you just separated. Talk to a therapist if it will help, but don't teach your kids this is the type of love they should settle for.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing of like staying for the kids really isn't.
It's
the
not.
thing. But
the
I mean,
case.
it is kind of interesting though because she is staying for the kids, but not staying for their emotions. She's staying so that she can
Just have this
be with
life.
the kids.
Yeah,
yeah,
which is
very complicated.
very complicated, and again, it's showing that relationship and dynamic between you and your husband where it's just very closed off or very cold shoulderish,
Yeah,
and it's just not a yelling match, but like just a table tennis match of like who can hit it harder or like what have you, and they're gonna witness that and see that growing up is not fair.
True. Yeah. This is why so many of us are messed up in the head and allow other people to mistreat them. There's so much life and love in the world. OP responds, he is the main breadwinner, yes. We had a fight about a month ago, or not a fight, more of him complaining that I'm distant and neglectful, and he asked me what I wanted and kept asking and pestering me. I said I wanted him to leave me and give me my children. I would leave everything else to him. He was stunned for a while. Then when he calmed down, he said that I should take this idea out of my head, that I'm crazy if he thought that he would abandon the children. I mean, you know, pros and cons. Pros, he's a good dad and he doesn't want to abandon his children. Cons, she won't have full custody if they separate.
Con, he says, I want to abandon the children, but you kind of did that when you abandoned your wife.
Okay, Willingness says, if he comes out and asks you if you know, what would you do? Like, would you make a deal for the kids? Opie says, I won't lie. I will tell him that I know, that I don't want shared custody, and that's why I don't want a divorce. I don't think he will, though. He's probably as scared as I am that this will come tumbling down. Ladder Yard says, I feel like this other woman knows exactly what she's doing. She knows what it feels like to be cheated on. She knows the hurt and devastation. She wanted to destroy someone else's happiness. As someone whose spouse cheated, I could never cause the same pain to another woman. My ex left me for that other woman, left me with 2 small children. Funny thing, she hated me. She would tell my kids horrible lies about me. I had never met this woman, never spoke to her. I never understood why she had so much hate. They got married and then divorced. My daughter and her daughter are still friends. I adore this girl and love her son. I wouldn't dream of saying one cross word about her mom. She mentioned to her mom that her son really likes me, and then she spouted off about me being a horrible person. She told my daughter. I told my mom that she is not allowed to talk to her about me. She said that I was a nice lady who never said anything about her. I couldn't believe that she stood up for me. I hope you find your peace. OP responds to that. It takes two to tango. She might have wanted to inflict her pain on a happy, unsuspecting woman just to feel better about herself, just to feel that this doesn't only happen to her. But a good man would not have fallen for this. He would have turned her down. I hate her, but he is the one who destroyed my happiness. She can't have children, and her husband's new woman has given birth to their first child. Oh, wow. I think she wanted to take out her hurt on a mother because in her mind, her husband cheated because she couldn't conceive. He cheated because he is a bad person, and she will never get it. Oh, that is hard. That is hard. We do have an update, but woof, dude. Woof.
Yeah, this is not pretty. I don't know. Again, you're scared for your kids, but it's also like, what about your well-being?
Right.
Like, this isn't fair to you to be living in a household with someone who you deem as like a traitor.
Yeah.
And like who lied to you and lies to you consistently.
Exactly.
It's like, just rip off the Band-Aid. Be like, I know the truth.
Yeah.
Because it also seems like it's like a burden that you're
Yeah.
just like, I know the truth and
Right.
I can go about my day la-di-da-di.
Exactly. And I mean, if she is so worried about getting a divorce when she like tells him about it, I mean, I don't know if that is too much of a worry because obviously he's chill with doing that and staying. So obviously that's not what she would want in a marriage.
Right.
But if she's okay with like dealing with this anyway and just ignoring it, I wonder if they can work something out where it's like maybe she can go off gallivanting with other people or something like that and they just kind of co-parent. But I don't know,
Like,
in the same
they're like
house.
separate but not divorced.
Yeah, or because he's willing to or because he hasn't divorced yet, then maybe he doesn't want to run off with that other woman and he wants to stay and fix things. That's probably
The only
you know.
way to know is literally by talking to him and being
Exactly.
like, I know what you're doing. What do we do?
But we do have an update. Anyway, my husband had made me dinner and brought me flowers and chocolate. He said he wanted to make it a night for the two of us because he felt that we were pulling apart. The kids were sleeping and he wanted me, and then got upset because it wasn't how he imagined the evening would go, and accused me of not loving him or our family anymore. I got really angry when he accused me of not loving my family when they're all I have left to give me love and hope. I snapped at him that I didn't feel safe with him anymore, and he knew full well why I had become this way. You know the reason why. He was shocked and looked at me without saying anything, and then just sat silent on his end of the sofa for the rest of the evening. Before bed, he asked me to tell him how I would feel safe again and to tell him what I wanted him to do. He went to bed. I stayed up all night and made a list of demands. Okay, she knows what she wants. So here are the demands. I want a post-nuptial agreement where I get my house and my summer home. I become a partner at his companies at 50%. I don't know how these things work since I won't be buying in, but this is for him to fix. I'm not interested in management, just that I have my half and the passive income. I want him to get a vasectomy. We were planning 4 children before all this, but I don't want that anymore, so he should have a vasectomy. I want him to always wear protection with me or never bother to touch me again. I will not even tolerate complaining about that part. I also want biannual STI tests. This morning, I sent him a text with these demands. I know it's silly to send someone you live with a text, but I didn't want to fumble with my words and forget details. I didn't want him to see me cry or be visibly emotional. I just couldn't take him trying to console me. Just the thought of him feeling sorry for me makes me sick. But also, I didn't want to forget anything, and I wanted it to be in writing. And I want you to listen to full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but what do we think about this list of demands?
I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, it seems like you just hate your husband.
Yeah.
Like, and I know he's like, oh, he is the breadwinner, but like, it's like, why force yourself to be around him? Or, you know, it's like, it's such a sticky situation. Like, I know you want to do it for co-parenting and like,
you don't want to abandon the kids, but it's like you literally look at this guy and you're like, I literally don't want to talk to you.
Right. I know, it's kind of interesting. 'Cause, I mean, we had the like one thing of the postnuptial like agreements and
Which
stuff.
was like, okay, but then like,
But like I just kind of assumed then that everything else would be like after a divorce, but you just reminded me that that's not what she wants to.
yeah,
So,
it's like you don't want to divorce this man, but I don't know. It's like
yeah.
pick one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. He read it on the breakfast table and he didn't say anything. We continued the day as normal, and when the children were in bed, we had our dinner, and he said, "About your demands, I agree." I told him to start on Monday with realizing my list, and he agreed. Okay. So I guess since many of you asked me to take measurements and have a backup plan, this is what I could come up with, and it did help. I woke up today a little bit less anxious. I don't know how long we can keep this up, but I hope until I feel safe to leave my babies in his care. Maybe when they're all in school. And that is the end of that story.
My wife cheated and now wants an open marriage.
Just looking at our options here.
So my wife, female 30, and I, male 33, have been married for 8 years now. We had a fair bit of ups and downs during our marriage. 5 years ago, I found out that my wife had cheated on me with a man she knew from Tinder. It's already happened?
3 years ago. Or 5 years ago did it happen?
This is 5 years ago.
Oh, that's even worse.
3 years into the relationship.
How
or
did
into
you
the marriage.
find out?
She told me that after they hooked up 3 times or so. By the way, this comes from Soggy Ride 9013. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, first, I was shocked and wanted to divorce because cheating is a no-go for me. However,
Oh, no.
she told me how sorry she was and that she only loves me, and she was really trying her best to show me that I can trust her again. And I did.
Dude.
Oh,
You
P.
fell for it. You got
Oh, P.
vagina-manized.
Oh,
Hypnotized,
P. Yeah, no, I
vagina-manized.
understand.
Because she uses her.
Now let me
Hypnotizing.
introduce to you my wife's best friend, Chris, male 31. Best friend, best friend,
Wink, wink.
best friend.
Wink, 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 wink.
They've known each other for 15 years or so, and whenever we had issues, she always ran to him to talk. Chris is single. He has had some relationships, but it never lasted that long. I know he has feelings for my wife. Dude, come on. We can't be this blind. We can't be.
She's always going on long rides
Oh, Lord.
at night, and sometimes sees Chris.
He is always telling me that he wants a girlfriend that is just like my wife,
Oh! Oh!
and keeps telling her that I do not deserve her.
Oh!
This ain't your friend!
This is not your friend, OP. I want someone that's just like your wife. More like, I want your wife. Take out a few of those words there.
I never thought much about it because in my head, Chris is like a bootlicker, and I never thought that he had a chance at my wife. Girl,
Brother.
my guy,
Sir.
anyone has a chance at your wife.
Sounds like it. She'll give about anybody a chance.
Fast forward 6 months ago, we again had our ups and downs, and my wife shocked me with the suggestion of opening up our marriage.
Oh my gosh.
She's already opened it up. It's been open. I was shocked and immediately told her that I didn't want that. At this point, we did not have spicy sleep for like 8 months or so. Well, she had spicy sleep, I can assure you.
You didn't have
You
spicy
didn't
sleep
have
for
it.
8 months.
She was never in the mood. And after trying many times to have spicy sleep with her, I just kind of stopped because I didn't want to push her. I love spicy sleep, and being spiceless for 8 months made me really unhappy. So the more I thought about her suggestion, the more I wanted to try it out. So I agreed.
No. This is a trap and a tactic.
She was baffled at first, but in the end, we both agreed and made up some rules which involved there are no feelings involved either from us or the person we have spicy sleep with. No spicy sleep in our apartment. We tell each other when we have spicy sleep with someone else. We always use protection. I have a coworker, female 28. Let's call her Sarah. She's a very flirtatious girl, and I always thought she was a bit into me. One night after our shift ended, we walked to the bus stop together, and I told her about the open marriage thing. She was immediately all ears and was very interested. She joked about that if I wanted to shoot my shot, I could always ask her. So I did. I told her about the rules and the feelings thing. She made it very clear that she finds me spicily attractive, but that there are no feelings. Well, usually
Usually those develop later.
Nah, she just wants a new ride.
The next day, I talked to my wife about my coworker, and she told me I can go for it. Some days later, I went to Sarah's place, and we had spicy sleep. It felt good, but it was not the same feeling as having spicy sleep with my wife.
And then I got sad.
The following days, my wife was really quiet, and we did not talk at all. Wow.
I wonder
It didn't
why.
work. Didn't see that coming. I knew something was wrong, so I confronted her. I thought maybe it was because of me having spicy sleep with Sarah. Oh boy, was I wrong. She told me that Chris and her had spicy sleep.
Oh, interesting. Don't we have like a rules about that?
Don't we have like 4 rules, and one of them is just tell me before you have spicy sleep with someone?
And isn't the other rule that you don't have any kind of emotional connection to them?
Wow, you got 2 out of the 4 in one go. After hearing this, I effing screamed at her, and we got into a huge fight. Not only did she break the rule of not telling me when she had spicy sleep with someone else, she also broke the first rule about the feelings. Her excuse was that we never made clear when we should tell each other when we have spicy sleep with someone else, before it is happening or afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Come on, girl.
Don't forget that, too.
Come on. But what really tipped me off was that she was trying to convince me that Chris had no feelings for her. I mean, Chris basically told OP that he had feelings for his wife. In her eyes, I was overreacting way too much. I did not talk to her for 2 days now, and I'm staying at a friend's house at the moment. In my head, I keep thinking that Chris is somehow manipulating her, so she separates from me. So am I the a-hole? And there is an edit and an update. Dude, Chris doesn't have to do a single thing.
I saw a meme a while ago where it's like how other dudes be talking to your girlfriend. And the dude's like, he's manipulating you. He said that to you, but you did nothing wrong. How could you let him do that to you?
Exactly.
And then it's like, and the girlfriend's like, hey, babe, we should talk about a few things. And the guy's like, oh, like, let's talk. But you're just getting worm-tongued over there.
You're getting worm-tongued.
Get it?
I do. Yeah, man.
Lord of the Rings reference.
Lord of the Rings reference, man. OP, Chris really didn't have to do much.
They
She already
didn't.
cheated on you.
He was lining this up for months.
Yeah, come on. She's been lining this up, I don't know, maybe 15 years. Edit. Seems like I'm a bootlicker myself. Oh, the irony.
Oh, no.
And there's an update. Thanks to all the harsh comments calling me a witch, idiot, doormat, etc. It really made me realize what an effing loser I am.
Bro, it's okay. You had no one else to talk to because your
Dude.
wife wanted open marriage, and your friend Chris wanted to have an open marriage with your wife.
Oh, man.
You just didn't have anyone to bounce good ideas off of.
Yeah. Anyhow, got an update, and I'm also answering some questions. Yes, my wife is fairly attractive. I heard that from colleagues on multiple occasions. She's that Pilates, yoga, fitness type woman. She's got a front airbag job 6 years ago, which I paid for, LMAO.
Oh!
This is 1 year before she cheated, by the way.
If you pay for it, you get to play with it. Okay, those are the rules.
Whoa, okay. But,
Come on!
no, I think it's funny that OP bought this,
Enhancement.
or whatever, and then a year after that, she cheated.
Yeah. It's like, that's what my money's going towards.
Yeah, you
Come
cheating on me?
Yeah. So like for example, if Angelina pays for my whatnot to get extended, guess who gets the extension as well?
I don't think we had to.
No
you
one
don't
else
have-
gets the extension.
I don't think you had to give an example.
I'm just giving this an example in a female's world,
Okay.
not just a man's world, because we're in a man's world right now.
Added is just like, consent is still like a thing.
Of
and,
course.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't own it just because you pay for it, but I know that's not what you meant.
Dude, if we're in a marriage and you pay for that enhancement for me, no one else should get it.
Yes, that.
If you pay
if
for it, you
you're in
get
a
to play with
marriage,
it.
no one else should.
I'm
be.
dying on this hill. If you
I
pay
think
for it,
the
you
hill-
get to play with it.
I think.
Don't care.
I think the hill is that you shouldn't cheat on your partner.
Yes, and especially, it's sort of like give it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh no.
Angie needs a kidney. I give her one of mine, and then she cheats on me.
Messed up. That's
That's
messed
even.
up.
That's the same thing as this.
That's yeah. Nice butt, brown hair, green eyes. Me, on the other hand, I'm fairly average looking. Besides my height and physique, I don't have anything else going for her. Because of my wife's fitness addiction, I got into it as well, and as a result, got pretty jacked.
Fitting this D in her mouth addiction more like.
Oh boy.
Riley.
We need to move on from this story. My best friend and I came to the conclusion that she's only with me for financial security. Yeah, I mean, you paid for her front airbag job. She's getting financial security from you. I got a solid education, well-paying job, plus my parents are wealthy. You have that generational wealth. My wife has not been working for 3 years or so. I was also planning on buying a house this year. Yes, I think so too, that my wife had spicy sleep with Chris and probably other men before the incident.
Oh my gosh, she
I
doesn't
think
even
so
know what
too.
she's doing to herself.
Mhm.
She's not working. She's over there
Canoodling.
canoodling with her
Chris.
brand new front airbags with everybody.
Uh-huh. Let's go to the update, however. I am still at my friend's place. In my mind, this marriage is over and I'm filing for divorce. Good. I tried to tell her that yesterday over the phone, but she was not answering my calls for 3 hours or so. So I sent her a text before going to bed, telling her that it's probably the best to separate and that I want to file for divorce.
I think you should call Chris instead. He
Yeah,
might pick up.
he might. Yeah, she might be with him. I woke up to an excess of messages. She was angry at me at first, but shifted to apologizing and wanting to work things out. We agreed on seeing each other today. So the next update will probably be the last one. By the way, I'm going to update you on all the full episodes of stories just like this we've got on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. But do you have any final relevant thoughts?
I'm going to read this comment. Kimberly Fine says, Riley, that can take a weird turn. Had a boss who got his wife big old bitties tattooed on his back because I paid for him, so I get to keep them. Failed to see the law in his logic that he can't see them.
He got them tattooed
What?
on his back, so he can't see the tiggle bitties.
That's silly, man. Are you to look into a mirror or something?
Had a boss who got his.
So basically, he got his wife's, like, a tattoo of his wife's front airbags, but on his back, so he couldn't even see them. Silly man. But there's a second update, folks. Yeah, I think leaving your partner, honestly, should have left her after she cheated on you the first time. Definitely should have left her after she asked about the open marriage. And certainly should have left her now. But there's a second update, folks. This will probably be my last update. I just had lunch with my wife, and it was blatantly obvious how she was trying to manipulate me again. She confessed everything. Her and Chris had spicy sleep for over a year now. She started crying and how it's all her fault, and how she wants to get back with me. However, I've had enough of this. I told her that I'm going to file for divorce and left her crying at the restaurant. Meanwhile, I've already made arrangements with our family lawyer. I'm staying at my dad's place for a couple of days so things can cool off a bit. He's very supportive and is actively helping me with the divorce. And some top comments deleted says, "What do you even see in your wife? You sound like roommates that just argue all the time. She's hot, dude. We already know." OP says she was very loving and caring and hot. And that's why I married her. We were planning to have kids. I don't know what has changed, honestly. I was the guy who always tried to rekindle our relationship, but maybe she's just not into me anymore.
There we go.
My parents got divorced when I was 9, and it really hit me. So I always wanted to make it better. But at this point, a divorce might be the best option. I don't want to bring up any kids in a relationship like this. Ring card says a single guy telling the husband that he doesn't deserve her is a deal breaker. If they're willing to say that out loud to the husband's face, they are announcing that they don't recognize the boundaries of your marriage, and the only thing stopping them is the right opportunity.
I think, oh, you don't deserve her in a joking matter? Sure. But I want someone that's just like your wife. You're not my friend anymore.
Well, I don't think they were friends. I think Chris and his wife were friends.
Oh, but even so, I'm probably going to be like,
Yeah, wife, what are you doing?
no, you guys can't be friends. You
cannot
can't,
be
like,
friends.
What are you doing?
OP says, reading your comment made me realize what an effing prick that guy actually is. You're totally right. Obviously.
He was the one that did this. He made this happen.
Father's Gravy says, my guy, will you please have some self-respect and leave this woman? This is some of the most ridiculous crap I've read. She cheated on you multiple times, opened the marriage up because she doesn't find you attractive, and that doesn't even follow the rules. She doesn't respect you. Digital Drew says, agree. Divorce this woman before she has a chance to get pregnant, and all three of you wind up on Maury for some DNA results. Just that guy, 1212, says, let's be honest. Your wife opened up the relationship just to sleep with Chris. We all know that, if she hadn't already slept with Chris. Wasted Aquarium says she opened it up because she was already effing at Chris. BH Yellow says your wife's been banging Chris for at least 8 months. Get out. Agreed. I honestly agree with that. Highlander 1981-16 says, I never get these scenarios. I need someone to make it make sense. Did they like realize after 15 years now they want to sleep with each other? In my opinion, that is what a romantic relationship is. Best friends that F. Why didn't they get together over the previous freaking 15 years long before OP was in the picture? Maz is no more says Chris is probably a crappy boyfriend, which is why he can't keep a relationship, but he's a pipe layer, so the wife keeps him around.
Always need a plumber.
Always need a plumber. Man, oh man. Yikes. Dude, yikes.
This
you know,
is
be very
wild.
aware when someone cheats on you that is probably not going to work out. Sometimes it can.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But
yikes,
yikes,
dude.
man. This one wasn't going to work out.
That one was not going to work out whatsoever. And, oh, man, that would hurt. Guys, what do you guys think? If you pay for enhancements, do you get to play with them? It is more of a thing.
Consensually.
Of course. I mean, okay, hear me out. If you are,
Consensually.
if someone's like, oh, you get the enhancements, the consensually is already there. The consent is already there.
No.
Automatically, the consent is already there.
That's false. Bad.
What do you mean?
No.
That's how it
If-
works.
That's not how consent works.
What? If someone's in a relationship and they're like, I want enhancements, and you pay for them, the consent is already there.
That's
they wanted
false.
they wanted it.
No.
What do you mean?
The
Why is the consent not there?
Having the work done is there.
Yes.
But not
Okay,
for
okay,
you playing with
Okay,
them.
here we go. We're in a relationship. We're married. You come to me and you're like, hey, babe, I need a BBL. And I'm like, what in the world? Why do you need BBL? You basically already have one. But we come to the conclusion and I'm like, okay, I'll buy you a BBL. The consent is already there because you wanted it in the first place.
No, but then if Andrew says, don't touch me.
But
gotta
we're in a
say-
relationship.
Yeah, okay. You
You're
still
like,
have to have
the
consent in a
consent's not
relationship.
the consent's not the issue in this part.
Okay,
Well,
fine.
so okay, I know the jokes that you're trying to make.
I understand.
And I understand that you know that in your head consent's already there. We're just clarifying for
Yeah.
the people online
for
that maybe
for
don't
our
get that.
viewers that
Yeah.
Riley is saying with consent.
Yes.
That's
yes.
what we're saying.
We're just trying to
We're
save
just
your
clarifying
butt,
for
dude.
you.
Add it.
Yes.
Add it in there. I'm just thinking that this is already a married couple.
Yes, but
where
you
like
still
the
have to have
consent is
consent
already
in marriage.
is already there.
You still
Yeah,
gotta
but-
have active, enthusiastic consent in marriage.
Exactly.
Any relationship always have enthusiastic consent.
And Riley knows that, guys.
Riley knows
He's
that.
Just not wording it right now.
He's just
I just
really
didn't-
excited about.
I just
playing
didn't
with-
think we had to add it. Can we just put in parentheses at the very small and the bottom?
Yes.
Consent is always needed.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I want that to be a thing. If you pay
There
for
we
them, you
go.
get to play with them.
Consensually.
At the bottom, conditionally. There.
But there's
All right.
a little bit.
There's a little bit left?
There's no more left. There's
Okay.
another
Oh
story.
my God.
sorry.
Okay, let me get
There's
the other
another
story lined up.
Like there's
Here.
no way.
Or another story.
My new coworker makes me want to end my marriage.
They're just so hot in the way they work hard.
I'm female 30, have been married to my husband, male 36, for 2 years after dating for 2. He is my soulmate. He is the best person I know, and we have a great relationship. Unfortunately, bedroom fun is quite bland. His libido is much lower than mine, but this has been okay for me so far because I love this man so much. By the way, this comes from Shiny Bus, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I had only one boyfriend before him, with whom I've lived for 4 years. Bedroom fun was much better with him, but I broke up with him because he didn't want to get married, and I did. About 1 year ago, a new guy, male 24, joined the company where I work. I met him the week he started and found him quite attractive, but didn't think too much of it.
Oh boy.
We started working back in the office in January this year, and I have had lunch with him every day, as well as other coworkers. He has a great personality, and we have a lot in common. Sometimes we look at each other and break eye contact after it gets a bit too much.
I would never do that with a coworker ever.
You would
That would be
do
so
that
weird.
all the time with Keon. You can't deny that. I know he's not here. Just because he's not here doesn't mean that it didn't exist.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We talk a lot during lunch, but not much during work hours. I've been wearing more revealing clothes, and I've noticed him looking at my chest a couple times when no one is watching, and then we smile at each other.
Dude.
It has become a game for us now. Oh my gosh, this is so spicy.
She's trying to cheat.
She's married.
She's married, Sophia.
Oh, this is terrible.
She's married.
I didn't. Oh no.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part. I was eating.
Yeah, she's this
is
terrible.
It would be fun if they were, not being like cheaters.
You guys suck. I take it
yeah,
back.
come on, man.
And like, it wouldn't be this bad if you didn't describe your husband as your soulmate.
I mean, it still would
pretty
be pretty bad.
No, but I mean, if it was like my husband doesn't really,
That's true.
you know,
Like, I kind
look
of
at
want to leave him
me,
anyway.
he's bad. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
divorce and then get with someone else.
Right.
But
But yeah, he's
what are we,
good.
soulmate? Like this, you have so many feelings involved with your husband. Why are you, like, I don't know, doing
Throwing it
this?
away.
She's honestly, I think this is just a lust thing. Like, she
Yeah.
finds
Oh,
someone
absolutely.
attractive and she wants that physical connection where she already has an
Right.
emotional, like,
She
thing
wants
connection.
the excitement over here. My desk is close to the toilets, and there is no one else in this area except me. Sometimes he comes to the toilet and looks up at me, and I bend over to pick something up so he has a better look into my shirt. Today, we
Girl!
Girl.
Wait. Do you guys remember that movie,
Bridget Jones.
Yes, the cat thing where she goes,
Yeah, I do know where you're
that thing, that's what you're doing, girl.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But today we kind of crossed a line, and that is why I'm writing this. Of course, because the line has not been crossed already.
You haven't been crossing the whole time.
No. We were having lunch with other coworkers, but then they all left and we were sitting alone. We had the best conversation I've had in a long time. We were laughing a lot and just enjoying our time together. When we finished, we went to throw the trash and clean the dishes. I was standing in front of the trash bin when he came and hugged me from behind.
At
Uh-oh.
the trash can, because this is trashy.
Because you guys are trashy.
Yeah, trashy. He placed his arms around my waist and his head on my shoulder. I was wearing a shirt that shows a lot of cleavage, and I'm sure he was looking at my chest during this time. I felt a mix of this weird adrenaline and arousal, as well as some panic. I am a married woman, and I know this was not okay. It would break my heart to know my husband would hug another woman like this.
You suck.
Oh, my heavens.
Girl, reality is you're already cheating. You're already changing the way you look so another man can look at you. You're already doing activities and actions so another man can look at you. We've already crossed this line a while ago.
Already crossed this line. You've just crossed the line into self-awareness. That's where
Self-awareness,
we're at.
and it has now become physical.
Yeah. Well, I think before OP was like, oh, it's just a fantasy. It's not anything real. But now it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not really wearing revealing clothes just for him, am I? It's just for me.
Also, Maritza says, Riley, your bend and snap needs work. I haven't
I
had to
loved
use it
it.
in a while.
I loved it. He kept holding me, and I think he wanted me to turn around and kiss him, but I didn't. Even though I really, really wanted to, I was able to control myself.
Girl, no, you aren't.
He let go of me after a while, and we finished cleaning everything up in silence and just said goodbye. However, I can't stop thinking about him and our hug. When I think of him, this strange, overwhelming excitement takes over me, and it makes me feel really good and full of life.
Get a love surge.
Yeah.
What happened to a good old barn?
He's referencing a TikTok. I hope you guys get it.
So Sean is having a love surge right now, and he's gonna wrap around me and shake with the electricity of love until I catch it too and start shaking, and then you explode with a love surge.
The few times me and my husband have had bedroom fun since February, I am always thinking about my new coworker.
Suck.
I feel terrible for what I'm doing. I know it's wrong, and my husband doesn't deserve this. Please don't judge. I'm here to get help and advice. I know I'm doing something very immoral, even though we haven't kissed or anything else. I love my husband, and I see myself with him for the rest of my life, even if the bedroom fun is not the best. He is my best friend and an amazing person who makes me very happy. This new coworker is someone I don't even know, and I don't think this will lead to a relationship, but it has made me feel so good and excited in a way that I hadn't felt in a long time. The feeling that takes over my body when I talk to him is so powerful that I've started to think that I would actually sacrifice my marriage just to have bedroom fun with him.
He's going to sacrifice his marriage.
This is the 10%. You're looking at, like, you have 90% of what you want in a relationship, but this is the 10%, and you're willing to risk your 90% to get with the 10%.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. But also it's really crazy that she was like, I don't think this will lead to a relationship. I don't want to throw my marriage away from this. And then in the next sentence, she was like, okay, but every time we speak, I just think I might throw away my marriage.
It's a
just for
crush.
him.
You just have a crush. That's what this is. This is like a little little fling, summary.
Yeah.
What's that one movie?
Grease.
Yes, thank you. That thing. That's what that is.
Summer lovin'. Yeah, exactly.
Does he look like a
Even if we don't get into a relationship, I think we have such a strong chemistry that it would be amazing. I don't want to cheat on my husband, so I'm thinking of asking him for an open marriage. He knows my libido is higher, so maybe he will be okay with it. If I'm honest with myself, I think it would hurt him a lot that I even ask, but maybe he will say yes because he knows I'm not 100% happy with our bedroom fun. Would me asking this be the end of our marriage or a solution to my dilemma? Also, leaving my job is not an option. I am one of the top managers and my salary is very high. I doubt I would be able to find another job with this salary in the short or medium term. We don't work in the same department, so I'm not his boss and have no influence on his position or salary, just to clarify. Again, please don't judge me. I feel crap enough as things are. What would you do if you were me? Ask my husband for an open marriage, ignore my feelings, and just stop this little game? Please help me understand my situation from an outside perspective so that I don't ruin my marriage for nothing. And there is a small update, but what do you think OP should do?
2 things. Number 1.
Yep.
I would start analyzing your relationship with your husband and see if this is just a friendship or if this is actually marriage. Because in this marriage, you're lacking a physical connection, which we are realizing is very important to you, OP.
Yeah, and it seems like they've talked about that. That's what it seems like. And he knows that she doesn't have as much fun with how they're doing things in the bedroom and everything. So I wonder if it's been something that they've tried to work on or if it's something that he's just kind of like, I just don't want to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Which is like, okay in itself, but it's just you might need to have a different discussion.
And that brings me to my second point. If you've realized, he is more than a friend, he's my actual soulmate.
Yeah.
I think going to like some sort of counseling, like a spicy counselor or counseling in general, to align yourself with a physical attraction, because you're getting this physical attraction with a coworker and it's super fun at games, but you need to have this with your husband. Or the third thing, you just might need to end it all and try again, because there's something missing in this relationship and you're longing for that.
And also the answer is not open marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
definitely
no.
don't go for open marriage. It's not going to work out how you
Also
want it
because
to.
you already have someone in mind. So
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah, and
exactly.
And open marriage only works 8% of the time. We've done the math. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to work here.
It's definitely not going
not
to
gonna work here.
Yeah, so you definitely have to ignore your feelings. Maybe talk to your husband about it. Try to figure out what will be more exciting for you. But there is a small update. So thank you, everyone, for your take on my situation. After taking a couple hours to think more about this, I've decided to bring it up with my husband this weekend. I will wait until Friday evening after work so that we can both talk it out during the weekend without affecting work. If he wants to continue being married to me, then we need to talk about the bedroom situation and fix it as best we can. If he decides to divorce me, then I will respect his decision and let him keep our house, because I feel really crappy for letting this game get so far. I bet you won't feel really crappy when you're feeling up this other coworker. Uh-oh.
My
Am I wrong?
girlfriend, everyone.
It's true.
That's her.
It's true.
There she
You would have
is.
said that if I didn't.
No.
Dude, you were
Roll the
just
tapes.
saying-
You said so
yeah.
many
I have no idea
other
what you're talking about.
crazier things.
You don't have any proof.
We literally have 3 cameras pointing at you right now and a giant microphone in your face.
I have no proof. Prove it then. Go ahead.
Okay,
Roll the tape.
we'll rewind it.
Oh, wow. Look, you don't even have the tape. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. There are some comments. Comment number 1 says, quote, I will make me end my relationship. Fixed the title for you. Stop putting blame on him. Know what you are doing. Asking for any open marriage will most definitely cause more problems. If he even says yes, it might work for a bit, but you're not asking for open. You're asking to cheat with somebody specific. That's not good intentions. Just stop what you are doing. Stop blaming him. Just stop. Comment number 2 says, he's not your soulmate. Don't throw that word around. You don't knowingly hurt and betray your soulmate or someone you love. Seems like you weren't ready for a marriage. And it also seems like you essentially settled for your now husband, poor guy, because you say you broke up with your last boyfriend because he didn't want to marry you and you enjoyed your time with him more. Honestly, just have a clean divorce from this man and let him find his true soulmate. You seem like you're more into yourself and enjoy being chased and wanted from someone who isn't your husband. You pretty much already cheated in my eyes because you entertained another man. You let him essentially grope you from behind and you did nothing about it. Hope for the best outcome for you, regardless of the fact that you seem like you only care about yourself instead of having a normal conversation with your husband and not actively trying to cheat on him. Comment number 3 says, what I do in those situations is fantasize about the full picture. Say you sleep with the 24-year-old. It's amazing. You have mind-blowing spicy sleep. And now you leave your husband. Now what? You're dating the 24-year-old. You work with him. Suddenly, the rush isn't there so much anymore. There's a new 22-year-old at work that the guy is now flirting with. He's only 24 and wants to fool around with another woman. You were a fun game to him. Oh, you start to miss your husband yet? And there is an update. But honestly, yeah, that's a good way to do it. It's being realistic about the situation.
Yeah, long term.
Yeah. Because she knows this isn't like a relationship that she just thinks is better than her relationship. Like she knows that she's just in this marriage. It's been comfortable and she's put up with this stuff that she's missed out on because she loves him. But now that, they went on and that part didn't really get as exciting or any more exciting than it needed to be, then now
She's got this temptation in front of her.
Yeah.
This fresh new meat stick.
Uh-oh.
She's trying to get a little nibble at.
See, you say way worse things than I do.
I have no idea what you're talking
You say
about.
way worse things than I do.
So she needs to realize, am I going to cash out my nice little comfy relationship for a little meat stick?
Sure. But there is an update. So, many people wrote me horrible things thinking that I'm an awful person for behaving like this. I know that this may sound like that, and I do feel bad about everything. But marrying and living with someone who is not fulfilling you is really difficult. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So dramatic.
I
Dude.
wouldn't wish it on anyone, and I definitely couldn't have communicated any of these thoughts or feelings.
Also,
I had to cheat.
what's really bothering me is the lack of accountability. I have not seen her once be like, I'm in the wrong. What's up with this?
Well, I mean,
she's putting it on her husband, saying, "Oh my gosh, he's not fulfilling my needs," and then he's putting it on the coworker. "Oh my gosh, he's making me want to do it."
Well, okay, I will say she is saying that she's in the wrong, that she's effed up for doing
A
this.
little bit.
Well, she
She's-
said
but-
she feels bad.
But she's not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, like, I'll give her that. I guess she's saying it. We can't, like, rag on her for that. But still in the wrong because she's not doing anything. He is an amazing person, so it makes it really hard. If he was not nice to me or we had other issues, it would be an easier decision. But because everything except spicy sleep is fantastic, it's really tough. Imagine finding someone you love dearly and who loves you just as dearly, but he has really low libido and you have really high, so you feel unwanted, undesired, and unfulfilled.
Yeah, you
then
feel
I want a conversation about that.
Exactly.
But you are feeling unfulfilled.
Right, because it's not just about libido, I think. Like, it's not just about, like, oh, I just like this stuff more than you do. It's like, I feel like...
She wants to be filled.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like there's still things that you can do to, like, say, like, okay, maybe, I don't know, not as often. I don't want to do these things as often, but, like, the things that we do during... What's going on over there, Riley?
She's trying to figure out a way to fill herself up with love.
It's not even a good joke that you're cracking up over there about. It's not even that good. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could figure some sort of compromise out and not just like, just be like, well, yeah, we just are completely incompatible in that sense and there's nothing we can do about it, So.
Sounds like a conversation to fill the
Exactly.
space.
Yeah, exactly. That was my situation, and I tried to navigate it as best as I could. I know some people judged me for flirting with my coworker, male 25, and I accept that I did some bad things, but it wasn't actually cheating. Being real, many people in relationships are attracted to others who are not their partner and flirt a little bit. That's not cheating, but it's not okay either.
Okay, stop trying to justify yourself and get to the point.
Yeah, because that's also like, every couple will have a different tolerance for what you can do with other people.
Yeah.
Every couple will define cheating differently.
Um,
So you might think that that's
yeah.
not cheating, and
Yeah.
that might make you feel a bit better, but does your husband know that? Did
Like-
you guys talk about that?
Like recently in our relationship, I was, attracted to a blonde chick, but now I'm attracted to a redhead chick. And it's like, how do I navigate that in a relationship? And who knows? It might be blue hair soon. Who knows?
Yeah. How are you going to just keep jumping around for all these different women, Riley?
I don't know. It's fun fact. It's the same woman. I just gotta change my hair.
That makes it so much easier. That makes it so much easier then.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just what this is. Maybe it's just OP's husband in a wig. And
Yeah.
then, and then
Like, I didn't even recognize him.
yeah.
Exactly.
He's just so attractive in all these different wigs.
And then he like accuses her. He's like, "How dare you!" Now he knows all about the cheating because he tricked you. Now that this is clear, I'd like to ask for another piece of advice from people who are in a similar position as me and people who want to help.
People that are in a similar situation as me. Dude, do not go to the Facebook groups who are like, I want to cheat on my husband. How do I do it? Don't go there. I'm glad you're here.
A similar situation as me. I love you. If you don't want to help and just want to judge me, then skip it and move on to the next Reddit post you find. Thanks. Well, a long time has passed since my last update. Whoa. Well, okay, actually, first, before we read that, I think, OP, if you're genuinely looking for advice, because I can understand you made an oopsie on purpose, and that's not okay. What you have to do now is be honest about it. Stop it, because you know it's wrong. You're feeling bad about it.
Stop. Get some help.
Exactly. If you keep going with this, you're just gonna feel worse. You know that it's wrong. You know that it's not cool for your husband to be like treated like this.
But she kind of likes it.
Well, exactly. She likes it. She likes it. But, you know, sometimes it's fun to play with fire. Doesn't mean we can burn things down. We can burn down people's property. You know what I mean?
Especially-
Gotta keep it
That's arson.
That's arson.
That's arson. Yep.
Exactly.
Sometimes people like to play with their hot dog on a stick whenever it's on fire. That's a dangerous game to play.
Dangerous game to play. You heard it here first, folks. Yeah, OP.
Weenie roast?
You know that it's not okay. So, yeah, just end it. Talk to your husband about it. Look at the deeper issue and work on that.
Okay, real
Okay.
quick before we get into this update, I'm gonna need you guys to laugh at one silly dick joke because I need to be
I'm
fulfilled.
trying so hard.
I need to be fulfilled in that way, or else I'm gonna turn into this woman and go on some other podcast and make dick jokes there. Okay? Or I'm gonna have to call
Yeah.
Keon and Dakota. Do you want that?
Well,
Riley's making
Riley,
jokes for the boys, and it's just the girls. Dream.
right.
Okay?
Riley
I
is
need
a
this.
self-proclaimed laughing or.
Yes, I am a laughing whore, and I am proud of it.
Whoa, you can't say that word, Riley.
Not gonna lie, me too though.
All right, on to the small updates. Long story short, things are in a weird state right now.
I wonder why.
My husband did well for a while, but around 2 months ago, he told me that he just doesn't feel very spicy related, and he's never had high libido in his life, so he's finding it hard to have spicy sleep as often as we were. It wasn't even much. 2 times per week, Wednesdays and Saturdays mostly. They've got it scheduled. Got it scheduled out.
Fun fact, that's when Survivor and other new TV show come out.
On Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Just get really riled up from survival. He told me that for him it's more spontaneous and we would be okay to do it once per week or even less often. For this reason, he accepted my proposal of an open marriage. So she did both. So she was like, how can we work on our spicy life, and then also can we open their marriage?
I think he came to her, understood it. It's like, what's
Well, he accepted her proposal. So it wasn't his idea.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yikes, dude.
If I swear to goodness gracious, if
Like-
she goes and has spicy sleep with that office
yeah.
coworker,
It's definitely gonna happen. Like, no wonder it's in a weird state right now, dude. Come on. So he gave me 2 conditions. The first, that I always use a wiener wrapper, and that I'm very hygienic so I don't get any disease. Second, that I always come home to sleep. Even if it's very late, we only have 1 car, so he even offered to pick me up at any time just to make sure I'm safe at the end of the night. The first month was a thrill. I don't want to hear about it, OP. I don't want to hear about it.
I hate you, OP.
I don't want to hear about it.
I hate you.
But guys, they talked about an open marriage and they agreed to it. So this is they're playing by their own rules.
Yeah.
They had a conversation.
I just can't believe they didn't like figure this out before they got married. Like, this is maybe why you need to wait a little longer than 2 years to get married, people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a personal opinion, but that's pretty fast. I explained to my coworker the arrangement with my husband, and we got together right off. It was amazing. I went to his place after work almost every day for 3 weeks, and we had a great time. It is the best spicy sleep of my life so far. There was a lot of passion, and he had much more stamina than I had experienced before. And he has a great body, too.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yikes, dude.
I can't.
Yikes.
I can't.
We didn't meet for a week because I got my period, and then he got the vid, so I haven't seen him since then. I got into dating apps and have hooked up with a couple younger guys, early 20s. It has been fun as well. During those 2 months, things didn't change much with my husband. We were loving partners whenever we met at home, and he didn't ask me anything. However, last weekend he asked me a bunch of questions. Who had I been with and how I felt about them? He didn't care much about the spicy sleep, but more about the feelings. I told him that I didn't feel love for anyone else, only him, which is true. My husband said that he is happy that I'm having a satisfied life now, and that he is worried that I will love someone else and leave him. I asked him if he wanted to get divorced, and he said no, that he wants to be married forever to me, and that if his libido gets higher, then we could close the relationship again. I tried to convince him to get into dating apps and find girls, but he wasn't interested. I assured him I won't leave him, but I don't know how I can make him trust me. I love him above everything, but I understand that my actions might say otherwise. I want him to be happy. Please let me know if you have any advice. And there are some
Girlfriend,
comments.
The move was to get a counselor and figure out a way to maybe increase his libido because he still loves you in this way.
Yeah,
The
dude.
move was to get a counselor, period.
That too, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like there are probably things you can figure out, some sort of compromise. I mean, what have you been doing this whole time? You've been together for 4 years, right? I mean, like,
She's
have you
been
really
cheating.
you just put up with it for 4 years? Like,
Wild. God.
I don't know. I mean, like, you know,
Oh,
if it works for you guys, it works for you guys. I just have a
Clearly
really
doesn't.
strong feeling that it's not going to work.
it's not. It's really not because
Yeah.
he's starting to get paranoid about the feelings, and now he's probably going to get paranoid about the physical aspect of the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know, even if this goes on and he like gets more used to it and stuff, like he's that possibility of you just like leaving because of feelings for another. That's technically always a possibility. Like that's, you know, you could always do that, but that possibility is much higher now that he knows you're basically dating. But there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, everyone should note how she had someone lined up and ready to go from the jump. If someone even broaches the subject of an open relationship, you know cheating has occurred. And to answer your question, your husband is correct. Eventually, you will fall in love with your spicy sleep partner and lose all feelings for your husband. Divorce would be the best for you both. Comment number 2 says, if you actually loved your husband, you'd let him go instead of manipulating him and causing him constant heartache. No amount of justification will make you seem any less selfish and heartless, and I suspect you'll find the same response no matter which group you post in next. I hope his next partner treats him properly, because you clearly lack the emotional depth to do so. And there is another update. Let's just jump right in. Update number 2. I talked with my husband about how I felt about our spicy sleep life and that it wasn't fulfilling me. He told me how he is feeling worse about his depression since the pandemic has taken a toll on his income as a freelancer, and that has lowered his libido in the past few months. I was honest with him and told him there was someone at work who I was attracted to but wouldn't do anything unless he allowed me to. I asked him how he would feel about an open marriage, with the promise that as soon as someone wants to close it, it would be closed and no hard feelings. I told him that he could also do it with other women, of course.
But he's not going
He doesn't.
to.
That's not like that's. He doesn't want that.
Yeah,
He's doing this to make you feel happy
exactly.
instead of figuring out a way to.
Well, I don't even think it's like if he has a low libido, if he's always had that, there might not be any way for him to raise that. But then the relationship doesn't work if that's what she wants and he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Don't cheat on your like you literally planned to cheat,
Mm-hmm.
then got permission to go hook up with someone you already wanted to hook up with, and we're like
Yeah.
trying to lead up to that. So
Mhm.
it just wasn't. This is not working anymore. You can't have
Exactly.
a relationship. like
Exactly.
this.
And OP is referring to when the request opened up. After hearing my request for an open marriage, he cried. Because this was a Friday, he spent the whole weekend crying and locked up in our bedroom. He came out to sleep in the couch during the night, but he spent both Saturday and Sunday locked in with his phone only. I came in a couple of times to hug him and try to comfort him. I felt terrible and repeated several times that I loved him and wanted to be with him forever, that I didn't want to open the marriage if he wasn't okay with it, and he clearly wasn't. So just forget I said anything. He eventually asked me about this guy I liked, and I told him how he looks and how he makes me feel. I told him about our flirting, about the hug, and that he made me feel it was time to either end the game or do something about it. And you
Do
so
something about it, like also ending it.
Yeah, dude, like come on.
Also, doesn't this guy know you're married?
He does, yeah. So it's not like, well, I mean, I'm assuming actually. Sure, she's got a ring on. So
Oh
Yikes.
my gosh.
He said he would think about the open marriage and let me know in a few days. The week after this, I was very busy at work, but I wanted him to feel safe that I wasn't staying extra hours at work to be with my colleague, so I worked from home. Having that distance with my colleague made me miss him a lot, and I realized I might like him more than I first wanted to admit. That week was mostly uneventful. My husband was also working from home, and we barely talked during work hours, but we had a nice time during the evenings. We had dinner together every evening and watched the new Vikings TV series, which we both really liked.
Okay. Right, going.
No bedroom fun, though, and no mention of the open marriage.
So this was OP did this with her husband?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. Is that what you were clarifying?
Yeah.
Okay. The week after that, I went back to the office, and when I saw my coworker again, I felt this amazing sensation again.
Oh,
I realized how attracted I was to him and how much I wanted him to touch me. The thought of it still drives me crazy. It was his 25th birthday that week, so we went out with other coworkers to have dinner. At the end, we were alone in the restaurant, and we held hands. It felt unbelievably good. I was about to leave because I felt I was starting to cross the line, but then he asked me if he could kiss me. I asked him if he knew I was married. And note, I don't wear my wedding ring during the winter, so he hadn't seen it.
What?
Wait, why not during the winter?
Yeah, what's that about? There's no way it's too cold because it's on your body.
You're just wearing gloves and you don't want it to come off whenever you take your gloves off?
Yeah, that's just weird. Interesting. He said yes, but that he didn't mind. After that, I let go of his hand and left the restaurant. I didn't say goodbye, I just left. When I came home, my husband has prepared the bedroom with candles and music, and he even brought me my favorite candy and big teddy bear plushie that was holding a letter. We sat on the bed and he asked me to read the letter out loud. It pretty much said that he loved me above all things and he would do anything to keep us together, and he proposed again. He gave me a ring with no diamond and put it in my right hand. He told me he was going to get a job so that he didn't have to worry about his freelance business, and also he was going to start working out too to fight his depression and hopefully get his libido up again.
I'm sorry, just a little. This is the same story, or is this a commenter?
This is the same story.
This is the same
So
story?
Yeah.
basically, OP is kind of going back in time a little bit and
Yeah.
saying that
Got it.
originally he said no open marriage. He cried. And then she went, had dinner with the coworker and was like, oh, we almost kissed. And then she goes back. Her husband's prepared all of this and is now saying, I want to do whatever you want.
Okay, so we're getting the play-by-play
Yeah.
here. It makes sense why this guy's libido is low, because right now he's probably having to struggle to make
Well,
ends meet.
yeah.
Then also working in a freelance job is very lonely. If he's working at home, it's very tough.
Yeah.
Makes kind of sense because he's trying to hold it down on his end and doesn't have a lot of social interactions.
Yeah, and I mean, he literally just said that he's going to try fighting his depression. So he's been just depressed this whole time. Like, no wonder his libido's down. That's how that happens.
Yeah.
Like,
When I had a freelance business, I was pretty stressed out a lot because I was like hoping, oh, am I going to make ends meet this month? Is
yeah,
everything
you
going to
don't
be fine?
know.
It's
Yeah.
tough. It's really tough.
What? So see, there's things to do about the low libido. It's not just like, he's just stuck with this for the rest
Yeah,
of his life. Not like, hey, maybe I can help my husband like not be so depressed
Yeah.
anymore or something.
And
Like,
if he's not working out too, like, dude, I haven't worked out in a little bit and my head is so foggy.
yeah,
Whenever I work out, I'm pretty sharp. And if you're not, getting
yeah.
those kind of endorphins or, whatever, the type of serotonin, whatever, dopamine,
yeah.
your brain's not going to be as sharp and it's not going to be feeding off of that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I think working out too like does actually higher your libido too, so that in itself
Yeah.
would help. But oh man, the fact that he's doing all this after she literally just almost kissed this guy.
Yikes.
Yeah. He told me he didn't want an open marriage and apologized a bunch of times for not being as good in bed as I wanted him to be. I kept reassuring him that he is the most amazing person in the world and that he is more than enough, that it is me who is stupid and has issues. I told him we could go to the gym together and I would behave professionally with my coworker from now on. By the way, I hope that you always take us to the gym because you can listen to full episodes of more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. You can listen to us while you're working out and working on your libido.
So Duchess Kazanda says, Opie heard the libido was down because her husband was depressed and she didn't go. How can I help you out of the space? Instead, she wants to open the relationship like she saw an opportunity.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a difference, finding your spicy chemistry is important in a relationship, but like using the excuse of like, oh, I just like have a high libido and you just have a low libido. It's like, okay, well, if there's that issue, then it's like either work on it, find a good compromise that you're actually okay with, or you just aren't compatible.
And then Duchess also says, also, I don't like that OP phrased it a ring without a diamond instead of like an emerald ring or whatever the gems were in the ring. She's like, oh, he got me a ring without a diamond and proposed to me instead of, oh, he got me a ring and proposed.
Yeah, true. It's a little.
Yeah, that's really good
weird.
wording.
But-
Good eye.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more to the story.
Yep.
Things.
And sorry, perverse Leah says, dudes, I am poly, and this woman's behavior has me wide-eyed. I'm not understanding how she can treat this mono man like this. This is cheater behavior, not poly behavior.
Exactly. She's
Yeah.
not in a poly relationship or an open relationship. She's a cheater.
Yeah, it's that whole libido excuse. Like, oh, it's just biology, babe. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I need this. Things are much better between us now. He has put a lot of effort into performing better in the bedroom, and going to the gym has helped us both with the negative feelings we had as a result of our conversation. We are now at a much better place than we were before, and I feel more connected to him than ever before. I am still, of course, attracted to my coworker, but I decided to close that door and just ignore him from now on. We don't work in the same department, so I don't need to talk to him at all. The less time I spend with him, the less I like him. I feel that the infatuation is starting to disappear, which I am very grateful for. Thank you again to everyone who reached out, especially those who told me about the affair fog. It really helps me put things into perspective and prevented me from making a stupid mistake I would regret for the rest of my life. And that's the end of that story, but I'm very confused because this sounded like we were going back in time to like when the question was first popped up as like, hey, do you want to have an open relationship?
Yeah.
And then now it looks like they chose not to, but we read earlier, I feel
That
like
she
our
did
updates
open
got
it.
a little out of line there. I feel like
I am kind of confused by that too.
I have a feeling because one of the updates, like it didn't have a specific update like
Time.
title thing. I think it might have been out of order. And I think that update, I think it sounds like they were going to be fine with like not having an open relationship.
No, I think what happened was that he said, yeah, I'm cool with an open relationship. So I think what it was, so OP comes to him, says, hey, I want
Yeah.
an open relationship. He starts crying, says no.
Yeah.
She goes to have dinner with the guy that
Almost
she knows
kisses him.
and almost kisses him. Comes back. He's like, actually, I'm okay with it. They try it out and
Oh.
then realize this isn't
Well-
working. And then he tries to work on his libido. I think that was,
That's
yeah.
the journey.
I
Okay.
don't know.
It-
Yeah,
it's-
I don't know.
it's
It's really
confusing.
weird.
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
yeah.
Super weird. Wasn't update 1 that she had an amazing few weeks sleeping with a coworker and that Tinder
Yeah.
guy? Did I imagine that? So I think she had there was like a few months in. I don't know. I am confused by this.
I'm
too.
kind of guessing maybe like at first he wasn't okay with it because he said like he'll do whatever he can to keep the marriage, but that meant like going to the gym and stuff. He then said he told me he didn't
Okay.
want an open marriage.
Well, Nikki
so
Wolf said they never opened it. He said give him a week and told her
So
no.
it could have been too that like maybe they opened it at first and then after a while he was like, no, I just actually really don't like this.
Yeah.
And then maybe the kiss that he was asking about was kissing in public because that was at a party. So maybe that's what it was. They were doing things in secret and then I guess the whole time he didn't know that. And then afterwards now, since things were kind of weird, now he's like, no, I don't want an open marriage.
Yeah. Weird.
But man, oh man,
Guys,
I
we
hope that
got-
you guys can be happy.
One more story for y'all coming right up. My wife cheated at the start of our relationship because she was unsure about me.
Well, I thought you were sure when you married me.
My wife, 36 female, and I, 38 male, have been together since 2010. We both work full-time and don't have kids. We've been trying for a while without success. Through recent events left me wondering if I really want this with her now. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Infected Mars, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/showcase Storytime subreddit. So we met when we were both in the university, me 2007 and she 2008. We were friends before we got together. In the end of the 2009, start of 2010 semester, she was going through a bad time in her relationship at the time, and I ended up supporting her with a mutual friend of ours. She broke up with her ex, and a few months later, one thing led to another, and we ended up kissing, which led to me inviting her on a date. And the rest just happened. We were officially together in 2010, and I couldn't be happier. Our marriage and relationship in general were always pretty good. We've always communicated well, and I never had a reason to suspect my wife was cheating. Last Saturday, there was a barbecue in her brother's house. I got inside to get some stuff in the kitchen, and while I was looking inside the fridge, I overheard my wife talking to her sister in the other room. I wasn't trying to snoop on them at first. I really don't do this kind of thing. But then I heard something like, OP can never know about this. Well, of course, that was my cue to actually snoop. I hid and listened to her talking. Apparently, her sister almost cheated on her boyfriend and was feeling guilty. And my wife told her about the time she slept with a guy who was a lab assistant with her at the university after we started dating. We were exclusive, see Edit 2, in
Whoa.
2010.
Whoa! That's crazy. Her sister is like, oh my gosh, like I feel so bad. I'm cheating. And then she's like, it's okay. You're fine. Like I've been there. I've done it. It's okay. It's not a big deal. This is how you can keep a secret. And that's when she stops keeping her secret.
No, absolutely not. The fact that a sibling or a friend could ever justify someone almost cheating, that is not a healthy relationship. So, why would this wife want to cheat? So, in her words, she said, I wasn't sure about things with OP would work out at the time, and I allowed myself to do it. I felt guilty once I saw how much he loved me and treated me, and I could see a future with him. Then her sister asked if something else happened later in the relationship, and my wife said, no, it was just that one time, and I wish I could forget about it. I haven't talked to her about this yet. I'm not sure how to approach it. I feel incredibly hurt, and I know confronting her right now may just worsen things. Again, I've never had reasons to suspect she cheated, but she hid this from me all these years, and now I just found out. It feels like she just cheated on me, and I'm really broken. She noticed I'm not myself these past few days, and I dismissed it saying it's just stress, but she knows me, and she will keep trying to get an answer. I don't know what to do. Should I just try and forget what I heard? I don't know if I should talk to her right now or process it in therapy first. We have an edit. I had this happen to a family member once.
Really?
Yep. Their partner cheated on them, and they found out like 10 years later.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah. And
Dude, that's
they
hard.
still stayed together through a very hard time. But did they say that they don't have kids right now, right, Sophia?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think they were trying to have kids. But now
Wow.
she's stuck. Do we break up? Do we divorce?
I mean, maybe that's on the table because like you said, yeah, it feels like you just got cheated on. Like I remember, oh, I spilled my burrito on the couch. I'll clean it up. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's like it hurts. I remember like leaving a relationship and then like 9 months later, I realized that he like definitely probably cheated on me. And even though I was like very happy to not be with him anymore, I was still like hurt so much by that. And he's not, you know what I mean? He's way out of the picture. So it's like, it's still like, it still gets you. But then if you're still with that person and
Yeah.
haven't even given you a hint that they
Yeah.
might have cheated,
Mhm.
like they are that trustworthy while actively like had been keeping the secret this whole time,
Mm-hmm.
that's a even more trust that's being broken.
Got an edit. I decided I will talk to her, but not right now. I'm still very upset, and I don't want this to turn into a shouting match. I want it to be a conversation, not a fight. I have a therapy session today, and I will speak with my therapist about it. Hopefully, it will help me start this conversation with my wife. Had I known she cheated at the time, I would have definitely broke up with her. I understand everyone's saying just leave, but this is the person I built my life with, the person who supported me in so many ways and helped me grow as a person and as a professional. Before I make any harsh decisions, I want to hear what she has to say about this. Then I will decide for myself what I will be willing to do going forward. No, I don't believe she cheated on me any other than this time. She never gave me any reasons to think she did. I've always had access to her phone. She was never secretive of anything, and we spent most of our free time together. But how she will answer when I talk to her about it will surely either confirm this or change it completely. We had an edit too. I talked to my therapist. It helped me a lot. My head is in a much better place now, and I will talk to my wife tonight. My decision on what will be my next steps will be based on the way she reacts and responds to me. Also, people are assuming we aren't exclusive when the cheating happened. We were. Words were lost in translation after we started dating. Literally means Spanish, I believe, in my mother's tongue. And this is something we say in my country only when couples are exclusive, which was in our case. We did have a phase of friends with benefits. Then we were both seeing other people, but we knew about it. We have an update.
Oh, wait a second. Sorry, I have a little burrito in my
Wait a
mouth.
second. She's eating a burrito.
What do you got to say?
We had a little bit of a friends with benefits thing while we were seeing other people. While we were both seeing other people.
So they were seeing other people. Then they said, hey, now we're together. We're boyfriend, girlfriend now.
Yeah, but it said that we had a friends with benefits thing while we were both seeing other people.
So this is what happened. They were friends,
Yeah.
seeing each other, messing around,
Yeah.
friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Became exclusive. She then hooked up with the other guy.
But Angie's implying that they were in relationships when they started. So that's, I think, the
Yeah.
question.
So they basically like were cheating on their relationships with each other.
I
it
think
seems
look,
like.
I think she was implying that they were also seeing other people at first.
Yeah.
But then they became official. So they weren't like seeing
Oh.
people officially.
You read it
They were
again?
just kind of dating around.
Okay.
Update. Anyway, after I made the post, I talked to my therapist. She helped me put things in perspective and made me really think on what and how I value my relationship with my wife. She made me realize that I really needed to have this conversation with my wife, but not about the cheating itself, but how she hid it from me. Last night, I decided to speak with my wife. I've waited until we were both chilling and called her to our bedroom, saying I needed to talk. She tensed up and went with me. Asked me what's wrong. We both sat on our bed and had to hold myself together not to break down in front of her. I said I heard when she spoke to her sister about the time she cheated when we started our relationship. Yes, we started being exclusive. I said I was hurt a lot, but even more due to the fact that she hid it from me. I asked her why she did it and why she never told me anything. She broke down crying in front of me. She said it was true. It happened right after we became exclusive. She said that us being friends at the time and even having a friends with benefit phase made her fall in love with me pretty fast. At the time, she had some friends that kept encouraging her to stay away from me because she was getting too much attached and too fast, and she needed to wait and have more fun before going all in into another relationship. When I asked her to be my girlfriend, she said she really wanted to be together with me. So she said yes. But her being, her words, a naive idiot at the time, she let herself get influenced by those friends. And in one of those nights outs, she got wasted and ended up making out with the guy that worked with her in the lab. She said it was just a makeout and nothing spicy related happened. She swore she exaggerated the story to her sister, but they didn't have spicy sleep. She said she regretted it immediately and left the party for her home and cried all night. Now, I don't like that she exaggerated it to the sister.
I don't even believe that she did.
I don't
think she's
believe
telling
that.
OP
I
lies.
think we should call the guy or become friends with the guy and trying to get it out of him.
From 10 years ago?
Plant a seed.
I
Plant a
mean,
guy beside of him.
You could try.
Disguise yourself and then be like, hey, you ever see this guy, girl? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we made out once. Or, oh, yeah, me and her hooked up.
Yeah, I don't know why she would exaggerate for her sister, though. Because the sister didn't actually cheat, right? She was just, like, thinking about cheating. So it's not like she was like, oh, no, I slept with someone. And then the wife is like, oh, it's okay. I did that, too. You know what I mean? It's like, you didn't have to do that. Like, what?
I said it was irrelevant if they had spicy sleep or not. It was the fact that she kept this hidden from me that hurts the most. She cried again and said it was wrong of her and it was a stupid mistake. She just wanted to pretend it never happened. Said she was afraid I was going to leave her for something so stupid and did not have the courage to tell me. She swore she loved me and never felt anything for anyone else after we got together. Then she begged me to forgive her. Again, saying it was a stupid mistake out of a young and naive girl who has gotten out of a bad relationship and let herself be influenced by bad friends. I felt she was honest, and I mean it. I believe every word of her, and I feel she was genuinely regrets what has happened. And you will regret not going to your favorite podcast platform and searching up OK Storytime after the story. Just go to Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify and see these stories so you can live regret-free. We have a little bit left. Girls, what do you got to say?
She cheated on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's a liar.
Liar.
Yeah. Like, if you really think that you could still work this out and you want to still work this out, then that would be great if you could. But, I mean, if she's been lying to you this whole time, and then, I mean, maybe she's telling the truth about not actually hooking up with him. Maybe. But I don't believe it. So if she's lying, then she's lying to you again. Right
Yeah.
now. She had a second chance. She had so many chances all of these years to not lie to you about this. And she's literally, you're confronting her and she's had another chance and she's throwing it away.
Caitlin says, funny how she's not taking accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend said it. I was just got out of a bad relationship. I'm just hearing excuses. Not. I'm truly
So
sorry I had this from you.
naive. Yeah, it's like, no, you were an adult. You were aware of your actions. I know you're wasted, but you were still in control, and so you did it.
Back to the story. I said I forgive her, but I want to be able to celebrate the date of our start again. So we decided to pick another date. We now celebrate our marriage anniversary and the date we moved in together. We deflated like a balloon after we spoke. She said it was tormenting her to keep this secret. I'm not going to lie. Say the situation did not leave a mark in our relationship. It did. Things definitely shifted, but not in a we need to end things kind of way. Talking to her really did me good, and I love her more than anything. Even though it hurt, I'm now certain we will both be able to navigate this together. That's the end of that story.
Well,
Wow, beautiful. Cheating makes relationships stronger, guys. If you want your relationship to be stronger, maybe go cheat and get back together.
well.
Terrible advice.
Yeah. It makes 10% of relationships stronger because the 90% of people leave.
All right. Well, sure.
Let's roll the dice.
Sure.
That's my PSA for the day. But
Yeah,
guys, that's the end of
great.
the story.
My friend cheated on her husband in front of me.
Some people don't like to keep things to themselves.
So, I, 23 female, have a friend, Alice, 26 female, and we met about 3 years ago and became really close, even though we're like so different. By the way, this comes from user and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, a few months ago at around 12 p.m., Alice called me while wasted and asked me if I could pick her up so she could come over to my house and stay here for the day.
Cute.
I asked her if she was wasted, which she said no. I could clearly tell that she was, so I asked again, to which she said she was a little. I asked her if everything was okay, and she said she just wanted to be at my house. I went to pick her up, and she got in the car with a bottle of wine in her bag and clearly wasted. She asked if I could stop somewhere to buy a little bit of the devil's lettuce, and I said sure. We got to the store, and she bought she got her materials. She purchased her materials. I texted her husband saying that I was with her and I was going to take care of her. He thanked me and asked to keep him updated because we really didn't know why she was mad. When we got to my house, my cousin, 24 male, who lives with me, was in the kitchen, and Alice was super happy to see him, which is normal considering she's close to my family and gets along with everyone. We went to my room, and she insisted that my cousin hang out with us. Again, not out of the ordinary. I asked her what was wrong, and she went on saying how mean her husband is, and that she hasn't had her period since she was 13 because she's always had period shots for cramps purposes. But now that she was planning on switching to an IUD, she had to wait to get her period. When she did, he wouldn't understand her and her moodiness.
Ooh.
Okay. I told her that PMS, periods, and all those feelings on her were just as new to him as they were to her, and she should communicate those feelings so he would know how to act. I say that from knowing how much he loves, cares, and respects her.
Okay. That's fair.
So this person has an insight into their relationship. OP has an insight into Alice's husband's state of mind.
And is giving Alice some pointers.
Yeah. Okay. She decided to call him. She apologized for leaving the house instead of talking and said she just wanted to stay at my house, but that she loves him. About 20 minutes later, she wanted to schmirk and, you know, get into her supplies. So I said she could do so if she wanted, but I'm not letting her take the extra silly goo-gaws while also consuming the drink because that's just a way to a bad trip. She agreed that I could hide the chocolate bar and would give it to her when she was sober. Alice asked if we could go to a trail near my house to do a little and I said, I don't feel like it, but I would join them anyway. When we got back to the house, I remembered we had plans with another friend, Emmett, 28 male, to go to Subway because we hadn't hung out in a while and we're both broke. LOL. So I called him and explained what happened and asked him if he was okay with us going to pick up the food and eating at my house. He said that was cool and came over. From the moment he arrived, Alice was being rude. She kept drinking, and the more wasted, the more rude to me and Emmett she got. And the more giggly and whispery with my cousin she got. But I just thought they were both just, you know, a little head in the clouds and vibing out, whatever. Emmett and I just decided to go pick up the sandwiches by ourselves since they were in their, you know, whole other vibe. We got the sandwiches, went back to the house, and decided to watch Adventure Time while eating them. Emmett and I were talking most of the time, and I was facing the TV/Emmett while Alice and my cousin were next to me, but not really in my direct line of sight. Alice kept bringing up politics sometimes. What a great combo, because she knows she and Emmett have different views. About an hour later, Emmett had to go, and I walked him to the door and apologized for Alice's behavior. When I was on my way back to my room, my cousin stops me and says Alice kissed him.
Oh. What kind of kiss, though? Kiss on cheek? Hand kiss?
Down under.
Whoa. Not
Whoa,
an Aussie kiss.
I was like, WTF, cuz. He said how when Emma and I left to get the food, she asked him if he wanted to go upstairs to his room. He said he didn't know what to do at first, and when I got to my room, Alice was passed out on my bed. Even though I had asked her to shower because she hadn't showered after the gym and smelled like the devil's lettuce as well. The next day, when she woke up, she showered and told me that her husband wouldn't be picking her up soon. So I sat down and was like, I have to talk to you. I asked her if she remembered anything weird from last night. Her face went red and weird, and she said, no, she didn't. So I told her what happened, and she apologized and said she didn't remember, which obviously she did, and asked me if we could pretend it never happened. I got shocked and said, sure, if you think that's what's best. She said she was sure, and asked if I could ask my cousin to do the same, and said she would apologize later. She left, and that was what I was shocked by, her reaction, and I didn't know what to do. Later, I talked to my cousin again, and he told me to ask Emmett if he saw anything. When I texted Emmett and asked him about it, he said he didn't know if he should say something, and how I didn't notice her being too touchy and weird to my cousin, and that he seemed uncomfortable, and that yes, he did see her kissing him. Again, I didn't know what to do. A few days later, of no talking to Alice, she called me and asked to talk. She apologized again and again for being rude to me and Emmett while wasted and for what happened. I told her that I think she should tell her husband, and she said, not gonna happen, and kept saying that I'm young and don't understand these things.
Girl, you're literally,
Even though I'm married.
girl, you're literally 3 years older than her, and she has a healthy marriage, it sounds like.
Dude.
Also, ultimatum. We're hitting her with the hard. I'm gonna tell him, or you're gonna tell him, and I'm gonna be telling him in 2 days from now. And the cousin, I'd also be having to talk with the cousin. Cousin, don't you know you aren't supposed to be doing this with married women?
Cousin.
Cousins. Keep arm's length away from married women.
She then went on to tell me that she was scared because this had already happened with a girlfriend of hers, and that her husband was really mad, but they decided to move forward as long as she kept healthy drinking habits. I asked her if she thought he would hurt her, and she said no, but she was scared of losing him. Yeah, because you were down talking him and you made out with some other guy. I explained that although I understand it was a mistake, I'm 100% against cheating and lying, and it's just not something I would do to my husband. So I couldn't see myself being friends with someone that would do that. She kept apologizing and asked me to think about us being friends again, and that she didn't want to lose our friendship. So I said I had a lot on my mind with work and getting my certification, so I was going to focus on my career and we could talk when things were less overwhelming. Fast forward to today, about 4 months later. She just called me a few minutes ago saying how much she misses me and my kitties, and she hoped we can hang out soon, and apologized again for everything. I said it was okay, and I was just still focused on work and getting my certification, which I still am. Should be getting it in about a month. And by the way, you can listen for like 2 months straight to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify or iHeartRadio. Literally wherever you listen to podcasts, just search OK Storytime. You got like the whole archive at the tips of your fingers. You can pick any of them.
Is Alice plotting again? OP lives with her cousin. I feel the plot. Do you really miss the kittens? Do you really miss hanging out? Or do you really miss that cousin? And how's your home life? Is your home life going good? That's what I ask her. How are you and Emmett doing?
That'd be my first question. Did you ever tell Emmett?
Did you ever tell Emmett? And how are you and Emmett going right now?
It's a trap, dude.
It's a trap.
I still don't know what to do. I hate hurting people's feelings, but I just can't see her in the same way now. Every time I listen to her voice or see her, all I can think is her kind, loving husband not knowing what happened and the possibility of continuing behavior. I also can't forgive her for hurting my cousin like she did. She knew about his past, and even though she says she didn't remember, I just can't believe her. Do I just cut her off completely? Do I insist on her telling her husband? Do I believe her she doesn't remember and try to keep being friends with her? Do I tell her husband myself?
I'm disappointed in OP. I think OP, you need to tell Alice right now. Tell Alice's husband Emmett. Tell that everything is awesome, man. Right now, what's going on?
Yeah. Husband needs to know, and I think she's definitely lying. She's not. She definitely can remember.
She can,
because she brought up that thing about how she had a friend where this happened, and they ended up staying together, but like only if it was like promised that she like improved her drinking habits or whatever. So she's thinking, oh, as long as I say that I don't remember anything that I did, I can get away with it, and I can still coast by.
I was wasted. I was tired.
Oh, I literally don't remember.
Blah.
It was like I like blacked out.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Not gonna work. Emmett, no, go. Everything is awesome somewhere else.
Comments here. Commenter 1 says, you're not overreacting. Do not believe her that she doesn't remember. Please make sure your cousin is okay. That is very horrible for him. End the friendship with her because of what she did. Ask your cousin if he wants you to tell the husband. Please be guided by your cousin, as who knows what Alice might tell him to twist the story if she feels threatened. The last thing your cousin needs is drama with your husband about this. And that is the end of that story. My boyfriend was cheated on, and it made him controlling.
Oh, it always does.
I'm 22 female, in a very new situation to me. We are both 22 female male at university, started seeing each other early March, and officially started dating in early May. We're doing distance for the summer since we have jobs in different cities, about 9 hours of travel, or 5 if you're flying. And I did the trip around 3 weeks ago. He's coming down to me in 2 weeks. So we haven't spent more than a couple weeks apart. This is the longest it's been. By the way, this comes from Ben. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Since we left our uni town, things have been tense back and forth. About every 3 days, a small little fire starts, usually because he's feeling down and missing me, and I have to comfort him. It always ends fine, though. I tell him I love him and how excited I am for fall again, which is true. I just don't really have a problem with distance if it's someone I really love. I've done it before, longer term. I've lived abroad from family and friends for about 2 years and didn't see any issues in only doing a short distance period for 2 months. Plus, we'd be seeing each other 2 weekends during that time. I'm also not a jealous person at all, and I believe in independence within a relationship. I do trust quite easily and have never had any reason to be jealous. He started showing signs of jealousy, something he hadn't shown at all during the time we'd been dating and living in the same city. Had there been any indications earlier, I'm not sure how it would have gone, but now I'm in this deep and I want to be with him despite struggles. I was seeing someone else casually at the time my boyfriend and I met. However, we weren't exclusive. I told my boyfriend about this the second he started talking about being exclusive, and I broke things off with the other guy. Seeing multiple people at the same time is very normal in my country. I know it isn't everywhere, but it isn't considered strange, especially in the early stages and if everyone is informed. He told me he never had an issue with this back home. I had no reason to not believe him, as I know there's not any gap in his previous experience or anything like that between us. He has since told me that it eats at him. I can't change the past and keep reassuring him that I don't want anyone else. So we'd see each other every night in our uni town, and he had never had a problem with me going out at all. But since we've been apart, I started noticing him being a little off and not being happy about me going out with friends, especially after I made a couple of new male friends. We were acquaintances from uni and started hanging out. I have male friends back home and he has never had an issue. He hangs out with them as well. He has a lot of female friends and I see no harm in that. Everything was again totally fine when I visited this summer, but soon went back to small fights and long texts when I left again, all related to me doing things without him. And he finally told me he had ended his last relationship because his ex had cheated on him while she was away at uni and he was still working in his hometown. He hasn't told anyone this. Unless you're literally like married or like, I don't know, like that's always the most perilous thing, is it's like somebody in that transition from like high school to university, staying in a long distance relationship with someone you've been in a relationship with. You're becoming a new person.
Yeah.
And you're going to realize, maybe I want new things.
Yeah, which does never excuses cheating. It's just like, maybe I don't know.
It's building a house on sand.
Yeah.
Maybe take, like hey, I don't even know what the solution is. Is it like, let's break, and this is not even about the story now. This is about his previous relationship and trying to date someone who's going to college while you're not going to be there. Maybe it's just like we separate, we relink, and we check in a couple of years. We're like, do we still like each other?
Yeah.
Now that we're these different people, do we still like each other?
Yeah, and he clearly has never actually gotten over that, betrayal.
Of
Because he never
course.
talked to anyone about it.
Well, it's a huge betrayal, yeah, and it sucks. And it doesn't excuse, like you
No,
said, it
it
doesn't
just-
excuse
yeah.
cheating. I feel weird just writing it here because I promised I wouldn't tell anyone, yikes, but I need to get some perspective on this, and for obvious reasons, I can't tell anyone in my life. I'm very happy he's confided in me, and we had a very long talk. He's embarrassed to tell anyone and hasn't talked to his friends and just lied about it. Yikes. He's been saying they broke up because of the distance. I've been telling him he should start therapy, and he says he wants to for me, but he also hasn't looked into it at all. When I say controlling behavior, it's just that he's noticeably upset the second I go out. He says it's okay all day long, and then even if I send updates throughout the night, and I'm with my girlfriends, he gets upset and wants me to call him when I get home and send more updates on text, etc., etc. However, whenever we talk about it longer, he's really apologetic. He hasn't been telling me anything I can or can't do. It's just that I feel I can't do anything because he gets so upset. He swears that he doesn't want to feel this way and never reacted like this prior to being cheated on. He's just scared now since he would never have known if she hadn't told him, and he's freaked out I'd do the same thing, even though I keep assuring multiple times a week that I never would. My friend is coming to visit me this weekend before he's coming, and she wants me to tag along to a house with a guy she met on Hinge, like a trip within the trip. Even though I don't know the guy either, this is something I never would have hesitated to do before.
Let's hesitate.
Yeah, let's hesitate going to
Little bit of
strange
hesitation.
men's houses. It seems fun, and I trust my friend, but it's clearly a boundary for my boyfriend, even though I'd just be tagging along as a +1. He keeps saying he would never tell me what to do and that he's okay with me doing whatever, but that it just makes him feel bad and insecure. I think that's quite contradictory. I'm not sure I want to be in a relationship with boundaries like that. I feel embarrassed lying to my friends about the reason I'm saying no. I'm sure most of them have realized what's going on, as well as I kept having to sneak away from them while we were out to make phone calls. I do want to respect his wishes though, and I'm thinking if I skip this once, he might be able to build up his trust, and I could be doing similar things in a year or so, but I'm not sure if that's being naive. I know we only have a month left of distance, and I know it's only been quote-unquote bad for a month. I also know I love him more than I've ever loved anyone, even though it's only been a couple of months. We've been talking about moving in together next year, again, normal in my country and especially in uni towns, and I've been seeing a future for the first time. But some part of me is really worried that I'll end up in some sort of toxic relationship where I won't be able to leave. I never thought I'd even be in this situation. And by the way, a situation you can be in is listening to full episodes with stories like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple Podcasts. Literally wherever you listen, just search OK Storytime. We have 69 days worth of stories to listen to.
Now I feel like OP's overreacting.
I do. I feel like being like, I don't know if I want a relationship with boundaries where I shouldn't be going as a third wheel on a date
Yeah.
to another man's,
And-
to my friend's date.
Someone said, oh, like, what if I just came in? What if she's going there for, like, safety reasons because the friend, is scared or whatever? Don't go to people, like, a Hinge date's house
Thank you. I was gonna
alone
say, why is your first date at the
if you're
house?
scared.
Yeah, why are you?
Go
I'm
meet
scared
in
of this
public.
guy. I'm going to go on a date at
Yeah.
his house.
I need you to come with me because I'm scared of going to this guy's house alone. No one's making you go to
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah, that's a personal, that's your personal
That's a
choice.
silly
That's a
move.
personal problem.
That's a silly move.
I just don't think he's ready for a relationship right now. He needs to
Yeah.
process his breakup,
Genuinely, like,
his being cheated on.
I don't think that anything you told me was necessarily like him being that controlling, but I do think everything that we've learned about him, I think he hasn't told anyone. Like, I think he very much needs to go therapy and like talk to someone about that.
Yeah, he's making you his therapist right now. You're
Yeah.
the only one who knows. And so he's working through all of these feelings through you exclusively. And it's a lot for you to deal with, I'm sure. And it's a lot for him to deal with. And I don't think it's going to necessarily just like disappear in a year or when you guys are together or whatever, because he still has to work through the betrayal that he felt and experienced. And he's, you can't do that while you're lying about it to literally everyone else in your life. What's my best bet here? I'm not going to change my lifestyle. break up. He met me while we were out doing social activities at university, and he should know I enjoy going out and spending time with people. But what happens when I go away with my classmates for 3 weeks on vacation, or when I decide I want to study abroad again for a semester? How long do I put up with this, and will I even know if it has gotten better until it's too late and we're trying and effing up distance again? I'm willing to be the reassuring girlfriend for him, but not forever. And I keep saying I understand him, but honestly, I'm not sure I do, because I trust him. I don't mind at all if he goes out and has fun with friends, and I want him to trust me. There's no universe in which you should be okay with him going to like a girl's house with his with his friend while they're on a date.
Again, OP, if your boyfriend told you that his friend was going on a hinge date to some girl's house and he was going with them,
there would be answers that we would need. And do I cancel the trip with my friend just this once as it's still early, or is this just the first time I'll give up something for him and his feeling? I've already canceled it now, actually, but I feel bad for my friend, honestly. Has anyone been in a similar situation and can reassure me on how to go about this? Comment number 1, comments. Do not cancel the trip with your friend. You haven't done anything wrong here. This is all his insecurities, and he probably doesn't mean to be controlling intentionally, but it's still controlling. He needs to address the issue and show you that he can manage it. Well, he hasn't really controlled anything yet because she didn't tell him.
Also, I just want to say, he said, I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but like, you can do whatever you want. That was his word. He said, I don't know, like, I feel a little bit insecure about it, but like, you get to make your own choices. That was what he said.
It's just like,
that's all he said.
I think it should be a split.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't think
feel
you're
like
ready.
You don't want to be in this relationship with him anyway.
And he's not ready. He needs help. And you need to maybe, I don't know what you want, really. If everything else is okay, I'd maybe wait until you're not long distance again. But his behavior is the kind that can very easily spiral out of control. And that is the end of that story.
Dang. My parents wanted forgiveness after leaving me, and I couldn't help laughing in their face. Our family has an interesting story. My bio mother's side and bio father's side have 2 marriages between the families. One of them is our bio parents, and one of them is between my bio mom's brother, 55, and my bio dad's sister, 54. By the way, this comes from Swapped Kids, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my bio mom, Linda, and bio dad, Chris, actually met at my uncle and aunt's engagement dinner when both of them were 16. Linda and Chris are still complete wrecks. My bio dad was the troubled one of the family who would have problems with school or work, and my bio mom has had regular use issues. When they met and started a relationship, both sides of the family tried to break them up. They even sent them to different countries, but they stole $50K from their families, managed to come together, and ran away when they were 19.
Some real Bonnie and Clyde people there, huh?
Indeed. They got married in a third world country and had me, 25 male, and my twin brother when they were 21 years old. They thought we were dead weights, so they left us in the hospital and went to another country. Luckily, they had checked in to the hospital with their passports, so the hospital reached out to the embassy. The embassy then found our grandparents, who brought us back home, and we were raised by our uncle and aunt, since we call them mom and dad. My parents were charged with child abandonment, but after 10 years of being MIA, the charges were dropped, and our families also didn't try to look for them. 2 years ago, they showed up at my dad's parents' house in a completely renovated look. Turns out they had finished their education, gotten stable jobs in the country, started mental health treatments, and had been sober for 9 years. They had basically put themselves together. For the first 6 months, they only saw their parents in public places. Then they were accepted into the houses. A year later, they met with us when we were 24. Me and my twin brother started to have a relationship with them, and we are somewhat cordial right now. Last week, the abandonment topic came up, and Linda said it was the hardest choice they had made. I started to laugh uncontrollably after that. When they asked why, I told them they had multiple choices to come back, and they didn't. I said our families were right not to trust them, and that they would always have eyes on them, and they should accept this at this stage. Linda started to cry, and they left shortly after. All of the family except my brother think I was being too cruel and that I should apologize. But I think they had to hear the unfiltered truth. Am I the a-hole? And there are some comments about bio mother and father's story. But what do you think, Keon?
I thought you
I'm about to call you OP.
Yeah. as OP, and I think we all agree here, you don't owe them the time of day.
No.
They abandoned you at the
For
hospital.
24 years.
Yeah. These people, you don't know these people. They don't deserve any of your time. Again, these aren't your parents. You have no relationship with these people. I would be like, it's too little too late, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Where were you for the last, I don't know, 24 years?
Literally.
So, grandpa and grandma over there they're my mom and dad. They're my twins and myself's mom and dad.
Yeah.
So, I don't care.
Yeah. And I think any of your family members who are saying, like, you are being too cruel, you just have to be like, hey, you weren't the ones abandoned by your parents. So I don't think you really get a say in how we feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
Bio mother and father story from comments. They didn't drag themselves out. They were dragged out by other people. I don't know how or why, but a restaurant owner in Thailand really cared about them. A restaurant owner? And started the rehab process by contacting our country and sending them back. Then it was the rehab center, after that the job placement, and then the secondary schools. They openly said they were doomed if he wasn't around. My family from both sides comes from a somewhat noble lineage, so both sides have some unrealistic standards. And our parents' mental health issues didn't favor them in the family. But Chris was a troublemaker for the family and also for the community. He was sent into boarding school at age 13 due to excessive troubles that he caused in school and at home. Not the classic ones. Police were called on him 7 times in a year.
7 times.
Linda still says she feels empty without constant adrenaline and trouble. She still doesn't want to stay sober from substances. She confessed this to my brother while asking which medication to take to substitute the feeling that spicy flour gave her.
Oh, wow.
Why is
But I think she's staying sober for the job. Yeah, I mean, that's such a complicated relationship of like this, woman who says, I'm your mom after 24 years, who is sober, but like, part of the reasons why she abandoned them is because of her substance issues. Coming and telling him that, I'd be like, I don't want to be around you.
Hey, buddy. Hey, do you know any substitutes to help my craving? I've been really craving for some substances, and I know you're kind of like my son, but like not really. Yeah. Do you have any referrals? That's crazy.
That's crazy. I still don't know if Chris is 100% sober, but he is passing well, even if he's not. While reading all of this, my decision has started to feel justified because I'm taking notes of important stuff that people have said. I am on paid leave right now, so I'm reading every comment. I will hear from them one last time, but with the evidence and the stuff I've heard, I possibly won't resume contact with them. And there are some relevant comments. Deleted says, not the a-hole. The thing is, they didn't even try to get you adopted. They simply abandoned you. You and your brother could have simply passed away there. Everything turned out fine for you and your brother, but that's no thanks to them. They didn't do anything to ensure you would be okay. It was all due to the kindness of random foreign strangers. Info, did they even know you were alive and with their family when they came back? OP says, I think they didn't because after we were born, both of them were pulled into a rabbit hole of substances. My parents have worked as bartenders in multiple Asian countries, and my father also has been an actor in the corn industry. Okay. So I don't think they have any ideas about our whereabouts, and my father still works in the adult film sector. He is not an actor anymore, but a producer.
Oh, that changes a lot of things.
He's working up. He's working his way up.
He leveled up.
My mother is working as a head mixologist in a 3-star Michelin restaurant. Dang, that's pretty. Those are wildly different jobs. Men Are Lazy says, the idea of a perfect family. My family has spent decades trying to get people who never got along to get along. OP says, oh, I see. I mean, I understand the reason why my grandparents are having an eye on them, because it is their children and they failed on keeping them safe and raising them appropriately. But I don't understand why the extended family members and my mom and dad care about their feelings. Honestly, I would have said good riddance. Magic the Mage says, not the a-hole, hard decision. They birthed you and left. They had no intention of finding you again. Now that they have their life together, they want cake and to eat it too. Shrimp and shoe fly pie. Yeah, those two fully intended on those kids never being found and probably stayed away as long as they did because the kids were with the families. Thank goodness for the health providers at the hospital. OP and brother would probably have been lost forever otherwise. OP says our family has donated generous amounts of money to the hospital after that, and we have visited there twice. The doctor who has birthed us is currently the head physician of that hospital, and we still send emails back and forth. Wow.
Cute.
That's lovely. Deleted says, info, is there any proof of the story of how your grandparents rescued you from a foreign hospital, and if that actually happened? OP says, plane tickets, the letter from the embassy, the photos in the hospital, the doctor's notes. We have tons of stuff. We also went to Sri Lanka twice to visit the hospital, and our grandparents made a discreet donation to the hospital. We also still send emails back and forth with the doctor who birthed us. My brother has actually decided to become a doctor due to him, and he is currently in the first year of his residency in neurology.
That's
wow.
so
Congrats.
cool. That's actually really cool.
And there is an update 37 days later.
Oddly specific number.
Oddly specific. What do you think?
I think, again, OP, I feel like you should have a conversation with your not your bio parents. Oh, maybe you could if you really owed them that. But again, like I said earlier, you don't owe them anything.
No.
But I feel like you need to have a conversation with your grandparents and any of your family members that are still in your, was in your life from the very get-go, that are, I guess, slowly letting them back into your life, your bio parents, and be like, I don't want to talk to them. Or it's like, I'll be cordial, but I don't have to have a relationship with them. I don't owe them anything. And
Yeah.
I think that's not even an unfiltered truth. I think that's just an honest truth. I think that's
just how it is.
Yeah. And they should see how you feel and how they make you feel. And, yeah, I think that's just, you need to have a conversation with them and let them know how you truly feel, because it's very reasonable. It's very understandable.
Agreed. 37 days later. Some stuff happened since that post first. My bio mom and bio dad are not allowed to contact with me unless they want to go to jail. A good friend of mine from high school is a lawyer, and he advised me to prepare a cease and desist letter. My main language is not English, but this is the closest thing that Google Translate said it in the legal terms. And he did it for me without any charges because he said that's what good friends do. Dang,
Heck yeah.
That's nice. My brother is sad that I'm not even entertaining the idea of a relationship, but he says it's okay and he understands it. He just sees them from a different perspective, the same perspective that he sees the patients he takes care of. My mother and father weren't happy about the restraining order and accused me of being cruel and heartless.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
They accused you?
Wow, I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. I'd be like, oh, you're right. You know what else is cruel and heartless? Abandoning your children for 24 years.
Boom, snap.
They said I'm being the embodiment of a demon. And they said they will cut contact with me if I ever put this plan into action.
Good. Guess what? You guys cut contact with me
Perfect.
at birth.
Well,
Remember
also,
that?
I think OP's plan is to cut contact with them. So it's kind of, that's exactly what he wants. So awesome.
What's another 24 years, right?
I said, well, consider this as our last talk then, and left their house. I am residing at my own apartment that my grandparents gave me as a birthday present on my 18th birthday, so no worries. It's in my name and no one can touch it. We haven't spoken since, and I doubt this will change in the foreseeable future. My parents are too forgiving, and since childhood I was told I'm being too vindictive. This still continues from their side. My parents say I remind them of my great-grandfather who ruined people's lives just because they did small things wrong to him. I'm not going to try and argue with that. My grandparents, though, they have understood my perspective, and they said they will respect my boundary, but they also asked me to respect their boundary to have a relationship. I said, of course, and we had an agreement. I still love them so much, and I'm lucky enough to have the compassionate parental figures that can understand where I'm coming from. Other extended family members have divided in two. Most of them think I'm cruel and they don't want to have a relationship with me anymore other than being civil around each other. And some of them still want to protect the relationship we have. I can live with this. I'm also back in therapy thanks to my brother. He arranged a session with a therapist and also an appointment with a psychiatrist in his hospital. So I am currently back in therapy and started to use antidepressants. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it helps. For me, my life continues as my birth parents never showed up. I go to work and have some me time on the weekends and spend some time with my friends whenever I can find the time. and I go visit my grandparents once every 2 weeks. They live next door to each other. My brother is my next door neighbor, so we eat most of the dinners together when he's not on the night shifts. Those nights, I mostly find a guy to spend some time with. And there are some relevant comments, but do you have any thoughts before we finish this off?
No, it's just a little exhausting that nobody, I mean, not nobody, but
Yeah.
some of your family is kind of not understanding why you're doing this,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy. You're like, all right, you're no better than them. You're no better than them. Do you remember what they did before we were even born? And you're going to forgive them like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They stole $50,000. And I mean, it's good that OP realizes like everyone else can have their own relationship with OP's parents, but OP doesn't have to have that.
And again,
And
it's
that's fine.
It's for them probably. It's like what is it? The prodigal son? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
it's-
like, oh, they finally come home. We're welcoming them back. But OP, you do not owe them that.
Yeah.
But you owe us listening to full episodes of stories just like this. You owe it. Just kidding. You don't know it. But we'd like it if you listen to full episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and searched up OK Storytime. We'd appreciate it.
You do owe it.
You don't.
Relevant comments. Affectionate Can says, so missing info. What happened that caused a cease and desist / restraining order to be issued? OP says, due to the nature of the previous case, by our country's law, I can ask for a cease and desist letter, but that is not a restraining order. It's just a warning letter against them saying if you ever come close to me, I'll accept that as a harmful act and I'll act according to that. Friend Lily says, not the a-hole. The majority of your family sounds toxic. I'm glad you're in therapy and getting the help you need. And I'm glad you have gone no contact with everyone, pestering you and calling you names. You're not a demon by any stretch of the imagination. You are not to blame for other people's bad behavior. And when you react to protect yourself from that behavior, you are not wrong. I'm sorry your parents and bio parents are both ignorant and hateful. So again, what changed to cause OP to want a restraining order? Deleted says, reading the first post, I wondered what the family was like if the bio mom got into substances at 14 and the bio dad had problems as a teenager too. Figured there was probably some toxicity in the first place. And after reading the rest of the family's reaction to OP not wanting anything to do with the adults who literally abandoned them in another country, without even trying to contact back home, I feel firm in my stance that OP's family sucks. OP says, my family comes from somewhat a noble lineage in our country, and everything is about the looks and how we're perceived from the outside, so abandoning people who are the outcasts is an option they are familiar with. So yes, they are toxic, and the concept remittance men is a thing in our family. My bio dad and bio mom are not the innocent people here. Their parents, aka my grandparents, have pushed all the buttons to make it right, both by medical and emotional stuff. But my bio dad is a diagnosed borderline and my mother is type 1 bipolar, who had a really early diagnosis at age 13. I am also diagnosed with medication-resistant depression. I had TMS when I was 18 years old, so mental health disorders are genetically rampant in our family. My brother is also type 1 bipolar. Our grandparents tried to change a lot of stuff in our families, but their siblings wanted the same stuff to continue, so it didn't work. But they have raised me and my brother according to their ethical codes, so they are the ones we are looking up to. Our parents, unfortunately, were heavily influenced by their aunts and uncles. Various Try says, not the a-hole. Wow. Your adopted parents cut you off because you were too vindictive, cutting contact with your bio parents who abandoned you. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Well, I think it's totally reasonable for them and for your brother to accept your bio parents back into your lives. It is equally as reasonable for you to want nothing to do with the people who abandoned you at birth in a third world country. Stick to your pew-pews and enjoy your life without them. And that is the end of that story.
Very nice.
But yeah, I mean, you don't owe these people anything. They left you for 24 years. And that's that.
Yeah.
My wife cheated while pregnant, but now she's telling everyone I'm the cheater.
That's not how that works.
Trigger warning, mentions of abuse. My wife is a pretty terrible person. I'll explain in a second, and you can yell at me if you think I'm being unfair by calling her that. And I probably shouldn't have married her or even dated her in the first place. She has 2 awesome kids with another man, and I began being in their lives when they were 1 and 4. By the way, this comes from Good Competition 5741, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. I knew their mom back in high school and had a brief, strictly physical relationship with her. Strictly physical, no emotion. Then we went dark with each other until reconnecting like 12 years later. She was fun and we had the same humor. She was everything I wanted in a mate, and I loved hanging out with her and her kids. But then she kept randomly going back to their father, who is terribly harmful. I tell you all this so you know why I stayed as long as I did. I was able to provide for her kids and her and prevent her from taking them back into a horrible household. Fast forward 4 years, we had a child together. We did Christmas, her and I, her 2 kids, our new baby girl. I thanked God that I had everything I'd ever need in my life and things were good. I'd later find out that 6 months later, she began sleeping with her ex. I'd even find out that she'd been sleeping with him while she was pregnant with our daughter. The thought makes me physically ill and torments me every day. I want to leave her, but there were these little children, and I would rather have gone through the worst torture imaginable than see them go live with the ex, especially my daughter, who is my world, but the other kids as well, as I love them very much too. We went to a marriage counselor, but she would often storm out when things fell on her, and she'd have to take responsibility. Things got somewhat calmer, but she never seemed to want to treat me with much love or respect, even as I worked my butt off to make sure we all had everything we needed, plus trips, etc. She didn't work at all. So much is being left out, but I doubt anyone will even read this. It's so long. Anyway, fast forward to November 2024. She had almost never been a participant in our marriage, no matter what I did. I'd given up on all the stuff I did for so many years to show her how much I loved her, and focused on just being the best dad and stepdad I could be. Without my being a good husband, there was nobody participating in the marriage anymore, so it turned into more of a roommate situation where I still paid for everything. It should be mentioned that I constantly begged her to do fun stuff with me like we used to. I told her that all our relationship needed was for us to actually try. So one night, it was my friend's father's birthday. This family is my second family, and I went to the birthday party. It got late, like midnight, and she texts me to tell me that since I could spend the night out places, she's going to as well. She tells me that next weekend she's going to go out with a friend. I said, why not go out with your husband if you're finally willing to do something? That would be great. She was going to meet a guy she worked with, someone I'm pretty sure she'd already been sleeping with. This is a terrible, terrible situation.
I don't like this story.
This is dreadful. IOP. Is there any way that we can have some custody of these kids?
Right, and wouldn't there possibly be a way, obviously, yeah, we're worried about all the kids, but
Yeah.
he's and specifically, my daughter's never going to that ex's house.
Well, you can.
Can't you say that in the custody agreement?
You could say he's incredibly abusive if you have any,
Yeah.
whatever proof you have of this, start gathering that proof.
Right,
You
because the
know?
other kids are his. The
One kid is
exes.
his. The other kids are the exes.
The exes, yeah, that's what I meant. Because, I don't know that you can necessarily control that situation, unfortunately.
Probably
But
not.
for your own kid, yeah, you 100% can
Yeah.
do something about that.
I got mad at how stupid this all was, and we both agreed we should get a divorce and be done with all of this. I was the first to take off my ring because of how angry all this made me. The whole marriage, I dreamed of a day she would actually care and try, that all the suffering would be worth it, and we could all be a happy family. We all deserved that. This was never going to happen, unfortunately. She started openly dating the guy. She would go over to his house every Friday night and come back with spicy kiss marks all over her neck like she's 17. She's 37. A couple months into this, I decided I needed to go out with someone for my own good. But who? I went on a 50 Shades Club site I had previously made an account on for other purposes. Long story.
Other purposes? What are the other purposes
What are
of
the
that?
other purposes? It does. 50 Shades Club might be a change because it's in brackets. So I wonder what the original thing was.
Oh.
And talked to a girl who I eventually met up with. She did not look like she did in her pics, and I was not attracted. Classic. They never do. But I had lunch with her and decided I needed to at least give it a shot. We met up a second time and drove around and then got baked. Outside the car smoking, she tried to get me to have spicy sleep with her. I felt really awkward about it, but gave it the college try and couldn't do it. Literally couldn't physically or mentally do it. I felt really defeated in every way possible and told this woman that we were just not going to work out in any way. She flipped out. I was using her for spicy sleep, even though we never even had spicy sleep, and met on a site about spicy sleep. We spent less than 4 hours together total ever, But she went on a Facebook group for women who think their boyfriend is dating someone else and put my picture and info up. That's insane.
Oh, that's that Facebook group. Are we dating the same guy? Probably.
That's crazy. Oh my goodness. I felt very violated, but whatever. A friend of my wife saw this and didn't know we were no longer together. She informed my ex, who then got completely unfairly angry. She had zero right to care or even know. She started saying she was going to make stuff up so she could leave with the kids and move to the other side of the country. I'm flipping out. That's my family, my child. Anyway, last part, I promise, if you are reading this. Things calmed down and we realized we needed each other just to make it in this terrible economy. No! No! OP!
Maybe they mean like divorced, but like
Oh, okay, well,
co-living.
seems so. We filed for divorce, but decided to cohabitate for the sake of the kids. She admitted to being the worst possible wife, though she still claims she married me because she loved me, and not just to use me for the money and stability for the kids. But it was she who left this marriage, if she was ever a part of it, not me. And yet now I just found out that she's been telling her family we're divorcing because she found out I was cheating on her with a woman from this website I was using. Can you believe it? She cheated on me more times than I can count with an ex and a janitor from her work, and she's pretending to her family who likes me and recognizes the stability I brought to her and the kids' lives, and to look justified since she cannot explain any real reason other than lust and immaturity why she would leave me. She's trying to lie to everyone about me, so am I the a-hole if I tell everyone the truth? I have 13 years of texts outlining how absolutely terrible she is. I seriously have had to go through a ton of counseling. She's a terrible, horrible, deranged person, and the story right now is that I cheated on her and broke up our marriage. Honestly, no.
Yeah, tell them.
Yeah, tell them. Because at this point, it's not even just like petty revenge. This is your family is at risk.
Too.
Your reputation's at risk. Yeah.
I like too that he's like, can you believe she would do? Yeah, I unfortunately really can.
Yeah.
Which isn't great,
sucks.
but
yeah, but I think this is no longer just like petty. This is the custody of my child is at stake, because they could convince her to take your kids away. She could convince a court if she's got like a bunch of people on her side. There are many things at risk here if you don't tell them the truth.
And I don't think it's wrong even just for the sake of relationships with
Yes.
that part of the family.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you would lose support from them if they think this is true. Note, please know she can also be the funniest, most awesome, caring person. Dude, you don't have to.
We don't need the backtrack.
yeah.
You opened this with
Yeah, you said she's the worst person ever. We don't need to go back. I just haven't seen that version of her in years now, and honestly, very little ever. But enough for me to fall in love with it. She was diagnosed with BPD when she was younger, and then supposedly a second doctor said no. He's like, nah, you're good.
That's rough then, because if that is unmedicated
Mhm.
BPD that needs to be medicated,
Yeah.
that could honestly be the cause of a lot of this.
Absolutely. My heart breaks for her and the kids, knowing how easily everything could be for us all. But therapy has shown me that is not a realistic thing to ever expect to happen. And comment 1 says, you're both in need of a lot of therapy, my friend. OP says, I've been in therapy since we both did counseling together. She was seeing a therapist for a bit, and it was helping a ton, but then she had to switch to remote when the vid happened, and just stopped completely, and things got terrible after that. My cortisol levels from stress have been so bad, I've been having heart issues caused by it. Comment 2 says, not the a-hole, tell the family if necessary, but you really only need to worry about the kids. Document her cheating or these agreements you two have been having for the courts. OP says her cheating is documented through her family court cases with her ex that she cheated on me with. Can you believe I sat in a courtroom holding her hand and then listening to him tell everyone in court about his affair with my wife and how long it spanned and how it wasn't just spicy sleep, but a relationship. How they would meet as I worked my butt off to make sure she didn't have to work, when she pretended to be staying at her mother's and would leave the kids there with her and meet up with him, etc. So many, okay, now she has no choice but to snap out of this and realize how much better life is for everyone when she is the version of herself that rocks and just gives even just a little to her marriage and the family dynamic. Things are finally going to be better and make this all worth it. Moments. So many. And that's the end of that story. OP, please prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
Please.
And your kids.
Yeah.
My boyfriend's friend accused me of cheating, but I was framed.
Ooh, tricky.
So this story happened nearly 2 years ago. However, due to the events and nature of the relationship, it still haunts me as I never got closure. I'm going to see if posting it here will help me air it out and feel a bit more at peace. We hope so too. At the time of this event, my ex and I had been dating for 3 years and lived together for half a year at this point. By the way, this comes from user Riri Suman on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I, 21 female at the time, and my ex, 23 male at the time, hung out with the same mates. For context, it was his friend group first and consisted of 2 males and 2 females, not including their partners. Over the years, he had known them. He was very close with the guys and was just out with the girls, but didn't really care too much. The 2 girls, I will name Kirsty and Rosie for story's sake, had invited me out for a night at Rosie's new apartment in the city with her roommate and their friends.
Fun.
I had started to get closer, and I was excited to have a night out as that was a rare occurrence for me. My ex didn't want to go, but said it was fine, I went. So the day of the night out, I traveled with Christy, Rosie, and Christy's boyfriend to Rosie's new apartment. I met the roommates and started chatting with the other people there. I met someone called Jackie, who was cool, and we get along instantly since we were quite similar. The only 2 grungy girls there. The party starts, and everything is going fine. Drinking, talking, the norm. Rosie suggested we all go to a local gay club because they had drag acts and it was one of the safest clubs to attend to in the city. This club was so cool. It had multiple levels that played different styles of music, from hip hop to emo, house, etc. At that point, I was at my happy stage of wasted and didn't want to push it, so I started drinking a Coke with a single rum to keep at the same level. Rosie had mentioned earlier that the second floor played emo music, so we originally all headed there into the balcony area. For the remainder of the night, I had stayed on this balcony and not moved. I chatted with randoms, as wasted people do, and hung out with Jackie. Rosie, Christy, and the others were quite wasted and kept moving around the entire venue. I stayed put. You know you're emo and you want to be in that emo phase. It's not a phase, Mom. It's not a phase. I nearly forgot about the cherry on top from that night. At one point in the night, the girls came up to me and told me that because they knew how rocky my relationship was, if I were to have a one-night stand, they would cover for me. I brushed it off as a joke and continued my night. Now let me pull back a bit from the story for some context into my relationship. My ex and I were getting rocky and toxic. We had moved in together, and since we did, we began arguing a lot, and he had started to show his true colors. To be honest, there is a long list I can make of the things he stopped/started doing, but to keep it simple, he became controlling, selfish, expected me to do all the cooking/cleaning because he worked more, even though I did 12-hour bartending shifts, and he was scared of touching meat, and hated when I became friends with anyone or hang out with them too long because I was and he would think something might happen. Again, I could go on, but I'm going to stop before I tangent on. Back to the story. Jackie admitted they liked me and wanted to kiss me. Whoa. To be honest, due to my mind at the time, I was tempted, but I said to them I was flattered, but I can't as I'm in a relationship, which they respected. W's all around there.
All right.
We continued the night until Christy came back again, and we started to head back to the apartment to end the night, which was a struggle in itself as Christy was wasted. And she was crying, and her boyfriend was being a child running off into the unknown city, making me need to run after him in my heels to pull him back. I hate being practically sober around emotional wasted people. I think everyone hates that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially me, dude.
Especially you. So that was the end. Fun night. Next day, we go home. 2 weeks later. In the middle of one of my 12-hour shifts, my ex and his mates were at the pub around the corner. So on my break, I went to say hello. The girls were there. I said hi and nothing else to make of it. 6 hours later, I'm heading home, which was only 2 minutes away, and I call my ex as I've watched enough true crime to know anything can happen in 2 minutes. As I call him, I hear he's out of breath. I ask where he is, and he says he was just on a walk with his dog, which was strange as it was like 2 to 3 a.m. He said he'd be back in 20 minutes. I didn't think much of it. He comes back and asks me to sit down. He then tells me that Christy and Rosie accused me of cheating with Jackie.
So they're framing you.
They're framing you.
Ooh, for what benefit? And I know this isn't going to go well because of how their relationship is.
It's already rocky. It's already toxic. Their reasoning? They didn't know where I was at some points of the night. Let's remember, I stayed put in one public spot and they were all over the place. I told him that I didn't, but Jackie did hit on me, which I turned down. He asked me if I had been talking to them. I had added them on Insta, but exchanged only a couple messages. All innocent, I showed my phone immediately. He still didn't believe me at first. At this point, I'm bawling my eyes out because how could they do this? Why would they make this lie? To add to my upset, he wasn't walking his dog. He had gone to his mom's and told her that I cheated before talking to me. Christy and Rosie had no proof other than wasted speculation.
Oh, yikes.
Just omit yourself from this entire group of people. Hang out with Jackie. Heck, now you can go kiss Jackie. I am furious and again, confused/upset. The conclusion of this conversation
conversation was that I had lost his trust and I would have to gain it back. He said he believed me, but I still shouldn't have added Jackie on Insta. I asked him if he was going to stop hanging out with Christy and Rosie for now due to them trying to ruin this relationship, and instead he said, no, I'm glad they told me about this.
Oh man, he's been looking for an excuse for a while.
He's looking for an excuse. I think these two girls are like just wanted to add some drama.
Oh yeah, stirring the pot, dude.
From then on, my depression started to decline further. I didn't have many people I could trust and was very alone as all my friends and family lived far away. He continued to be friends and hang out with them. But you know what? You can hang out with us every weekday, live, 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Boom, boom, boom.
Just hang out with us. Like, you already knew your relationship was toxic and on the rocks. And like, you're like, I'm just gonna have fun with the girls' night or what have you. And then this is what happens.
This is a tough spot you're in.
I never got closure. The girls ignored me and blocked me when I asked why they would do something like this. And I was stuck in a very unhappy relationship for the next 6 to 8 months. To wrap this up, I'm obviously no longer with him. I broke up with him, which is another story in itself. And now I'm with a man, not a boy.
There we go.
Bing, 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 bing. My partner is so caring, sweet, and puts me first. Our relationship is full of communication and just calm. I am extremely happier now. However, a lot from that ex will forever haunt me. Hope you enjoyed this long A story.
Yikes. I'm glad you're out of that. Sometimes you need to be put through hard things to get put into a nicer thing. It sucks that you have to walk down that path.
But sometimes you just have to go through that to know yourself and figure yourself out and know what you need and deserve.
Yeah,
and you got what it.
Weird what those girls' intentions were. They were just like, bombshell, walk away.
I want to know if one of them started dating one of OP's ex.
Oh, maybe.
Because they were all in like that tight-knit group.
Yeah, just really weird why you would mess up people's like lives like that.
What I don't like is the guy went straight to his mom
and didn't confront her first. And get all the facts.
He was like, "Mom, guess what happened?" But I didn't talk to her about it. Just guess what happened.
I don't blame him. Sometimes you need someone to talk to about it and go on a walk and like kind of calm you down if you're overwhelmed with emotions.
At 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning.
Hey, dude, some stuff is pretty big.
If it's on your mind and you can't sleep at night, I guess. But that's still confront the person, especially if you don't have the facts. If my friends were like, "Dude, so and so cheated on you." Okay, how? When? I need to know.
I need more evidence. Yeah,
we weren't with her, but she was like not with us.
Yeah,
and she was hanging out with another friend and being friendly.
What the heck?
So she cheated on you.
What?
Okay, but that's the end of that story, guys.
I encouraged my wife to explore non-monogamy, and it ruined my marriage.
Oh, man, she explored it too much.
Who would have thunk? So I, 30 male, am in an 8-year-long happy marriage with my 30 female beautiful wife. Nothing to complain about during all of those years. Really? Neither of us wanted kids, both of us wanted cats, and we are passionate about traveling. We spent 2 years living in a motorhome through South America, plus backpacking every vacation to different countries. 33 so far.
That is sick.
This sounds like your dream life.
Yeah,
right
dude, except maybe not the failed non-monogamy, but everything else sounds great.
One little piece. One little piece to change.
Oh, man.
All things considered, we have a nearly perfect life. By the way, this comes from RemarkableNet4658, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit and send them in. But I have to say, I never believed in monogamy. It was always clear to her. But as this has never been her belief, I've always been okay with it and never cheated nor asked her permission to get involved with anybody because I've always felt completely fulfilled in our relationship. So, not a believer in non-monogamy, but is doing it for his partner.
Which I think is like fine.
That's
fine.
If you actually don't, run around, perfect.
Yeah.
We're perfect. Yeah. Nevertheless, I always told her if she were willing to have something with any other person, it would be completely okay for me, even though I don't have that permission myself. So he's saying like, yo, you can go see other guys. I'm cool with that. I don't even need to see other women. He's cool with it.
I feel like this is going to backfire, bro. This is going to backfire. Non-monogamy is, any kind of relationship is tricky. But when you just have like so many relationship dynamics, it just gets complicated. People can do it for sure, but it's just difficult.
You need to spread the butterfly on my shirt. She needs to spread her wings and fly. Why are you trying to cocoon her, Sam?
She's going to fly away, man.
Let her fly.
She is going to fly away.
In any direction, including away. So the only thing I asked her would be to tell me that first. So in the last couple of months, she told me that she would also give me the permission to be with other people if I wanted to. So now
Dual permission.
Dual permission. As I said, I am fulfilled by her. I am actually completely devoted to her. She is my muse. Every day I wake up grateful for having her in my life.
Why are you trying to change? You guys have it perfect. Why are you trying to change it?
No.
No.
It's not broken, but we have to fix it.
No.
You know the saying.
Oh, man.
We met in college, and I had never been in love before her. And during all the 12 years since we've known each other, I have never wanted anyone else, so I didn't look for anyone to hook up with. I don't even know if he believes in non-monogamy. He sounds so...
You sound very monogamous. Well, I think you can believe that monogamy is not the best relationship structure, but find yourself in a relationship that gives you everything you need.
Or maybe it's
conceptually.
academically or conceptually, yeah.
Like for me, conceptually, I think non-monogamy makes more sense than monogamy, but I don't think I could be in a non-monogamous relationship.
Right. That's what he's thinking.
That's what I think.
Oh, that's what you think?
Yeah, conceptually, I think non-monogamy makes more sense than monogamy. But feelings based, it doesn't feel good for me.
Right. Dude, you and OP need to link up. I
Bro.
feel like you would be best buds.
Oh, man. I'm looking into my future.
Traveling, everything. I'm just saying. But one night a month ago, she didn't come home from work and didn't tell me anything. Of course, I was worried and texted her. Hours later, around 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, she told me she was drinking with her colleagues, which is pretty regular, but she always tells me in advance. Not this time. So in the morning, I go to work and she still hasn't come home yet, and we only met after I returned home. Of course, I'm mad. Thank God for the first time. But I patiently wait for her to tell me how her night bar hopping was and how fun it was. She then proceeds to tell me she hooked up with one of her male coworkers.
And she didn't say anything about it beforehand? What was the one rule? See, this is what I'm saying, dude. It's like once you open up the lid of the can a little bit, just people with no scruples are going busting open that can and peeing inside of it.
Gotta fly away. Fly away. And they slept in the same bed. No spicy sleeping.
Wait. Oh, okay. So they didn't fully hook up. So they slept in the same bed.
Maybe a make-out hookup.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They smooched. They did a little smooch, a little snogging.
And Opie says, I'm happy for her. She's finally free.
Really?
There you go, Sam. He's happy for her.
Real? Okay.
Let him be thrilled. Let him be overjoyed.
I would be a little annoyed if I said, hey, just tell me beforehand. And she didn't tell me beforehand.
Do you not appreciate transformation?
That's true. That's true.
She
She's
is
a beautiful
out
butterfly.
of the cocoon, and you're just like,
yeah.
You're
right. You're right. I'm really not being a feminist.
There we go. Pick up that book.
I need
from that author,
Margaret Atwater.
Yeah,
Atwood.
Yeah,
I gotta pick up my book of feminist poetry, dude. I need to remind myself.
Now, at the same time, I'm still pretty mad because I was not informed first.
As you should be,
Brody.
OP, do not walk that back. That is not chill.
Listen to those feelings,
That is
OP.
not chill.
She then explains, nobody intended it to happen. This was simply just a wasted decision. I understand, that's plausible, but I'm still uncomfortable. I tried to kiss her, and she asked me not to because she needs to sleep for a while since she'll be working in a couple of hours. I'm not liking it.
You know what I'm thinking, Johnny
What are you
boy?
thinking? Tell me. Lay it down.
I'm thinking we're trickling. I'm thinking we're trickling. I think we have a little case of the trickle truth.
Mm-hmm. She's got the full thing, but let me just
let me
sprinkle.
Yeah, we kissed, but we stayed in the same bed, but we definitely didn't hook up. And then the next day is like, well, we hooked up, but it was definitely only him. The next day is like, well, the whole friend group hooked up, and it was a massive class action orgy.
Yeah.
The next day,
it's amazing.
The next day, it just gets better and better.
I think that's.
I think
we're
trickle truthing.
It's about to. We're gonna from snowball to avalanche. That's where we're headed.
Her mouth is definitely dirty.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's why she just want to kiss.
Yeah, dude. I'm surprised he's so willing and ready to smooch.
Bro is the most understanding human on the planet.
He's too understanding.
Too understanding.
Too nice.
So she says she needs to sleep for a while and that she'll be working in a couple of hours. That's fair. I have to shower and go to work too. Well, a few days passed. And a friend of hers texted me. It was nothing spicy, but she comments on one of my Instagram posts complimenting my body. We've been in the same group of friends for over a decade, and complimenting is rather acceptable in the group dynamics. The last time we met, I felt a different look, and it was stuck in my head. I even commented on it with my wife, and we laughed about it. I guess I should start a conversation and see where it leads, I think.
Bro, everyone's you had a perfect relationship, and you're messing it up.
Dude.
You're messing it up.
Is there a game that we
You don't
all
have
the
good enough
wrong
rules.
decisions.
Yeah, dude.
Like, is there a game where it's like we stop reading when they stop making the wrong decision? And
Yeah.
it's like they just
every decision. Yeah, I like that actually.
Yeah.
That's great. We read Reddit stories until someone actually does something good.
Yes, yeah. Someone stops being an idiot.
Yeah.
Something like there's something
Someone
there.
stops being the a-hole.
There's some of that. So far, complete failure across the board. We are good to keep going. So my suspicions were not wrong. She wanted to have an affair with me. Why not? I think.
She wanted to have an affair. Is she in a relationship?
So this is the Instagram girl. She
But like
commented-
she wants to have an affair, but it's not an affair if they're in an open marriage, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they need to like get better at their like hookup
I
and
don't
affair. They
know.
need to look up dictionary definitions of
Yeah,
this.
dude, I think nothing in this relationship has been defined. They're like, all right, if you're gonna have an open relationship, if you're gonna do non-monogamy, the rules have to be defined. Even if you're a regular relationship, you have to define like what is flirting, what's not flirting, what's okay in a relationship. You know, like all these things have to be defined because people have very different conceptualizations of what a relationship is, and you haven't talked about it, then you don't know what each other think, right?
Yes.
So with this, they haven't talked about crap. They're just wheeling and dealing. They're like the gunslingers of the Wild West. There are no rules. There's people being unalived in the streets every day because there's a sheriff in town and he's not looking. He's not making any rules. He's in his little sheriff corner, I don't know, drinking whiskey alone.
You've seen those like Air Force shows, right? OP and his partner, they're not trained
Force
pilots.
shows. What Air Force show?
You know where they take the planes and they do like backflips and loopy
Oh,
loops and go all
yeah,
crazy,
like
right?
the Blue Angels.
The Blue Angels, bingo.
Yeah.
OP and his partner are getting into these planes. They're flying to loop-de-loops, zero training, and they're going to land.
That's what
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing, and that's what they're expecting.
Yes. This is.
We're going to have a fireworks show, and it's not going to be the fireworks. It's going to be your plane crashing into the ground.
Yes. It's good.
Delta
There'll
style.
be fireworks.
Yeah,
All right.
there
but
will be.
Not in the good way. Well, OP says, I also kissed one girl the other night. I think this is a whole nother woman.
Oh, it feels like they're one-upping each other. I hate this.
I told my wife about it, and she surprisingly got mad. Who could have predicted? No one could have
This is
guessed.
a cluster.
Beautiful butterflies flying everywhere.
God.
Making little caterpillar babies.
Communicate.
Who would have
I
thought?
can't stress this enough. If you haven't talked about what your relationship is and what flirting means, what talking to other people means, like what the bounds of your relationship is, you do not know. Like someone might think that smooching other people isn't cheating. Someone might think that watching OF is not cheating. You know, we've had stories where people have been align yourselves. Talk about it.
No, we got to keep. We're taking the planes. We're going in different directions. We're
I think when you
looping.
become exclusive with someone, or it's like a real relationship, you're like, all right, we got to go. Like, what's okay, what's not okay.
I've said this before on the show, and I want to say it again, so that way comments can either fight against me or agree with me. I think that relationship counseling in the beginning, just purely to fully get a sync of each other,
Yeah.
like how to best serve each other, is kind of a fire idea because you avoid all of the things like this. I mean, OP sounds like a lost cause, but like for us sane humans.
We should make like a Google Doc of like these are the questions that you ask your partner to align on like what
Life.
Yeah,
Everything.
to like what a relationship, like what kind of relationship you want to engage in.
Yes.
We should make that.
That would be fun. That would be good. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
I think we could make that.
So I told my wife about it. She surprisingly got mad. She said it seemed like I was acting like I wanted to get back at her or wanted to equalize, one-upping each other, that I shouldn't do something like that to a friend of hers and it would ruin her circle of friends. At this point, I'm confused. So I start to think about it. She's pretty distant these days, and I'm about to go to work for some time abroad, and I'm not going to see her for a long time. And she's been talking so passionately about her work and her colleagues or coworkers, especially the one she hooked up with. Also,
I feel like man's spidey senses are tingling.
tinkling.
They're
That's what Riley
tingling
does.
very late.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
was just like hit by a ton of bricks, and it's like 2 days later, he's like, "Ow!
Did I just get hit?
Yeah, did I just get a hit? What the heck?
I need an Advil.
I can't believe it."
Also, the male coworker was acting really strange towards me last time I happened to encounter her at work. She's also acting like she didn't want me to be around her in her work environment anymore. I get really confused because part of my job involves being in her workplace for like an hour or two at least once a week. So,
And
bro
she's like,
is
"Ew."
literally like has to work with her once or be in her workspace once a week, and now the guy she's hooking up with is getting mad. Dude, this is crashing out
hate
so
this
hard.
love triangle. I hate it.
He's crashing out so hard, but he has no idea it's happening.
I know.
It's Matrix. He's
It's
just
also,
watching it.
It's just so sad listening to this story, and it's like, move away from the bus. It's coming towards you.
He's just like,
and he's just standing there. Oh.
ain't no buzz. I'm going to go. Oh boy. So I was the one who talked them into employing her. I've known those guys longer than she has.
Oh, and they're boning your girl.
They're boning your girl. She's getting a bonus. Then I made the huge mistake and looked through her phone. The conversation with this guy is getting really intimate. Who could have ever foreseen that? They even jokingly send nudie pics. It's actually their feet. Wow. They're really close. And when I confront her, I am aware that I shouldn't have looked through her phone, but I need to say how hurt I am, how it was treason since she wasn't honest with me from the beginning, and how she was effortlessly trying to push me away from her life since we are just splitting the household bills at this point. We remember the perfect relationship we started with. Just
yeah, I know.
Flashback.
You ruined
Flashback.
it. You ruined it.
We're not having spicy sleep anymore, not even kissing anymore. So I then proceed to tell her with many, many tears that I have been afraid of the end for like a really long time, and it would be devastatingly dreadful to me if it happened. But I'm ready to accept it since she has been seeing that same coworker. And to me, the way that it happened felt like cheating, and I even felt like I still loved her, but wasn't in love anymore. Everyone sucks here. Like,
OP just did not establish. He didn't establish any rules. It's like you didn't. You're like, oh, like let's do non-monogamy without saying what that meant to each of you. It's just so silly.
Yeah. And he went from like, oh, she's finally free, like, oh, I believe in it, to oh, she's finally free. Like, just be like, I just want to be with you. I don't. He doesn't know himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't know other people.
I think he's like, he has a case of like, again, intellectually, I see like non-monogamy having benefits in it. Like, I think it could work intellectually, but like for me, emotionally, it couldn't work right now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm too entrenched in
right now.
Right, or at least right now, I don't know, maybe in a decade or something, through lots of conversations with a partner that I love, maybe I could get to that point, but definitely not right now. And I think the man just skipped all those steps and was like, let's try it out.
Ladies, mark your calendars 10 years from this day forth. And DM Samuel Donner,
Oh, God.
10 years from now, it will begin. Oh, please, someone take this clip and send it to him 10 years later.
Please don't send it to my
time
wife.
capsule.
10 years.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be, not definitely, but you know.
Oh yeah,
could-
dude.
anyway.
There's a lot of clips that are gonna backfire
Oh,
me
yeah.
in 10 years.
Can't wait. Well, enough Sam torture. Let's get back to it. So she cries a lot and asks me to forgive her. She recognizes that everything I said is true and that she wasn't even thinking during this whole time, and she didn't want to lose what we have. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't believe you.
I then look at her and ask if she loves me or our relationship, and she broke down into tears and says she loves both and wants to keep them. Now, we traveled for the holidays and everything started working again. Everything's getting back to normal. Nothing will go wrong. I rapidly fell in love with her one more time and things were great. And that's the end of the story. Thanks for tuning in.
No, things were not talked about enough.
Nope. No, it's not. It's not over. I feel like there's more.
Is there more juice to this story?
Actually a lot more.
There's
We're
a lot
barely
more
halfway
juice.
done.
Oh my God.
Except for now, I didn't want to spend all of these months away from her. It was a great work opportunity, but it's in another country. Remember his work trip that was coming up. Even the internet could not be enough. I asked her to stay, but she didn't want to. And even then, time after time, she encouraged me to stay and pursue this dream of mine. But deep down in my heart, all I wanted was for her to ask me to stay with her. So he's like, I don't want to go on this work trip. She's like, hey, go ahead. And he's like,
Oh, I wonder why she wants you to go on this work trip. Huh? I wonder why.
so, he can explore the world.
I think you want to explore. You're going to be butterflying.
Ooh.
You're going to be butterflying.
Dang, a butterfly became bad in the story. Now I'm sad. So now we've been living separately for 2 weeks. Plot twist.
Bro, she's going to do something quick.
And tonight, she had spicy sleep with a male colleague for the first time.
She couldn't even wait 2 weeks.
2 weeks, man.
2 weeks. She couldn't wait a fortnight.
We're on a paycheck cycle, okay?
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks. Come on, baby. What is odd about it? Nothing was odd until this thing OP's about to bring
you're
up.
like, that was fine. I was really chill with that.
Is that when we FaceTime this morning, she was telling me how her night out was and how much fun she had, but she just told me that they went to a place to sleep. Just sleeping. That's it. No spice. She only confirmed that they had spicy sleep because I asked her if she wore protection. Otherwise, she would have told me that they only slept in the same room. So she was kinda like,
Trickle truth.
I think it was like, oh yeah, we slept together, we were in the same bed, like, da, 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 da. I feel like she was almost like kind of trying to like
bulldozing through it.
package it, and then he's like, well, did you, and now she's forced to either lie or tell the truth, but wait, there's more. When she left for work, she texted me saying that she'd go have a drink by herself, alone. I responded for her to please let me know when she arrives home, but she never texted me again. I even confronted her about it in the morning, and she apologetically said that her phone was in her purse and she didn't even take it out during the whole night. I guess she was busy with her hands other places. Also, she was really planning on drinking alone, but wouldn't you know it, her lover just showed up after she asked for some bar address. Who'd have that would happen?
Yeah. I mean, like, I would have not slept with him, but then he texted me and called me.
But then, okay, she told me again, the spicy sleep, it wasn't planned. And that's why she didn't let me know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, it was unplanned. So like, if it's not planned, is it really? Are you really hooking
cheating?
up?
Yeah,
Is it even cheating?
it's barely cheating.
It's not
premeditated. It's like cheating in like the second degree.
Yeah.
It's not. It's definitely not first degree cheating.
No,
like, she
not
didn't
at all.
meditate on it and then cheat. It was just like, oh, oops, boop, a little stabby here,
Perfect.
a little stabby there.
How are you making love these days?
It was whoop whoop whoop.
Oh, God. By the way, you can listen to full episode if you want more of that. You can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app, and search OK Storytime. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the end of the saga.
Oh my God.
I'm going to dive in to the finale.
Please do. I feel so bad and not bad at all for this guy.
So the problem is that she's seen my text at some point during the night and chose not to say anything. I feel like she's feeling guilty about having a lover, even though I stated many times that I find that normal. We only owe each other the truth and full trust. She broke my trust from the beginning. Is that why I feel so bad about this whole situation?
Yes.
Is that why?
Yes, dude. She broke your trust. Stand up.
I don't get
Stand
it.
up, man. Sitting down on his laurels.
What's happening?
He needs to stand up for his morals.
Oh! Could it be that I'm just jealous and witching about this whole situation? Am I envious because she's having a really good time and I'm in a whole different country alone and miserable, not meeting people, and I still haven't gotten any payments from her?
Man is down bad.
Everyone sucks here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You need to stand up for yourself. This is not like, again, appreciate the intellectual exploration of non-monogamy, but you didn't talk about it enough. And also, she's not sticking to the one thing that you did talk about, is just like being clear about what's going to happen and not breaking your trust.
Yeah.
And she's doing that. So I'm sorry, OP, but I think you've handled a lot wrong here. I think you need to stand up for yourself. You need to create clear boundaries and expectations of what you want in a relationship, and that was not done. You were kind of doomed to fail. And I think it is definitely more on her part because she is lying to you and not being like forthright, but you also aren't establishing enough boundaries and you're not sticking true to them when she crosses them. And I think because of both those reasons, you're kind of being an a-hole to yourself.
Being an a-hole to yourself. Be kinder to yourself.
Yeah.
You can have just a relationship with one person and then be good. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But let us know if you think it's okay. Put your answers in the comments below. And what should OP do? This last update wasn't submitted too long ago, so we can still help.
There's still hope.
But with that, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.